Well, what's going on, you guys? So glad that we get to come together and play some more Dungeons and Dragons in what we've now named the new campaign called The Shattered Throne, where our adventurers are walking across the town of Alexandria, or the continent of Alexandria, as they search for the missing pieces to go save their kingdom in Elysium. I know it's been a long time since we've come back. So, players, could you go ahead and introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk about the new player who got here.
Hi, I'm Mojo, and I play Shonen Gold, a young human barbarian man.
And I am Taxstallion, and I will be playing Tydox. He is the artificer, and he's an old gnome.
And I'm Captain Urtussi.
I don't think that's your full name. For
Is that your official name?
No, that is his full name. It is. He's been shortening it to Urt this whole time. That's crazy.
That's not what I have written down, but that is so funny. That was good.
That
Right
was
off
what
the
you decided, so.
Welcome back.
It's canon now.
Let me just change my notes.
Again, yeah.
That is so funny.
Sheesh.
Randman, and then I'll introduce Delta.
All right. Oh yeah, that's right. We don't have Fritos. Yep. Well, I'm Zorfius, and I'm playing Ramman. I'm playing the Rammond.
And yes, like we said, we don't have Fritos. He hopefully will be back soon, but so keep him in mind. He just had a baby, so shout out little Fritos. That dude's a champion. And then we added a new player for the new things, and he'll introduce himself later when the time comes. But his name is Delta.
Hi everyone, my name is Delta. I'm also go by El Delta Chavito on YouTube, and if you're on Manscaped, try out the code unsubscribe for a 10% offer this month.
We're absolutely not
Plug, I love
subscribed.
it.
I love it.
That was an early later.
That is so funny, but he will come back. I'll introduce this character later. So, to give everyone a recap, the recap of all recaps, if you will, because man, it has been like 3 months since we've been here. So, I'm gonna shorten this down to the best of my abilities. But our party has found themselves on the run after the death of King Leonault Aurelius. Commander Ivan said that he had definitive proof of their involvement after finding Captain Urt's ring on the scene of the crime. For their execution, High Priest Joseph steps in and saves them from certain death. He then charges them to go on a quest to find 7 magic items to cast a protection spell over the land until the new king, Francois, will come of age. On their hunt for these artifacts, the party slayed a Drider Queen in the Broodmother's Cave, where they will find clues on where some of the other magical occurrences have begun to gather. They then proceed to head in a direction that is seemingly familiar for Tydox. They come across a weird river village with a mayor who, to the surprise of everyone, is really fucking crazy, to be honest. We're past a minute, so they narrowly escape his manor due to the help of blowing it up. Was how they solved it.
Kill the fire.
Kill the fire. Yeah, kill it with fire. Our heroes then proceed to save a young halfling woman. They take her to a nearby village that is filled to the brim with triage victims due to the dangerous proximity of monsters and feral creatures in the feral flatlands. They then get sent on a little side quest to hunt a lily that they should rescue the girl. And help her with her illness. They heroically murder a bunny and steal all its eggs, including an odd, solid gold one.
So brave.
So brave. They then march back to the village and learn some of the very helpful information about the world, and discover that they're close to a mysterious lost island that has a strong magical anomaly near it. They begin to set sail for the island until the island suddenly finds them first. After marching through the jungle, the team meets a crab who turns into a man, who then blesses Raven with the power of the swamp people. They then find the entrance to an ancient temple built more like a fortress. For some reason.
He left
Delta.
I'll
Yeah.
fix it. Okay, should we good?
Perf.
That was crazy. They then find the entrance to an ancient temple built more like a fortress for some reason than a temple of worship. They discover the secret to opening the temple, and the door opens up. And this is where we find our adventurers. They begin to walk into the entrance. And so, adventurers, as you guys walk into the temple, okay, you are greeted with solid black. Even those who have dark vision, who have lights or doodads, with Tydox, your suit, you are engulfed in this darkness. And as you guys continue to walk into this darkness, you are greeted on the other side to a beautiful island. You're in pairs. Tydox and Captain Urt, you guys wake up together, and
Hey.
That might be
you.
Scandalo.
It's as if you guys have rose from the water itself, as the waves
Think I
have pushed
rose?
you onto the beach together. Now, as you guys are here together, you guys begin to think about some of the happiest moments that you've ever had. You're overcome with this sense of euphoria and dopamine. Your minds can only really think about these happy moments. In a moment, I'm going to ask you guys to describe what those moments would look like for your character. But what I want you to think about is, for whatever reason, you don't know how you got here. You don't know why you're here. You don't know even where here is. You no longer remember your adventures together. Captain Urt and Tydox, you know that you're somehow bonded together, but as far as that goes, that's really the only information you know about each other. There is some reason that is keeping you guys together, but for whatever reason, it's almost as if you've woken up into a stranger's arms and embrace in a very strange world. Captain Urt, we'll start with you. As you begin to think about some of these positive moments, you are in this paradise-like place. What comes to your mind as Captain Urt's paradise?
So you said Captain Urt had awoken into his paradise, and Captain Urt is back to where he originally woke up in Groggenheim. He is back at that old bar where he was originally just a bar guard, and where he was with the bartender, and he was just standing there being guard, watching all of the patrons drinking, just standing there being that tough dragon who was just standing there, didn't really know what's going on, but he's just kind of taking up this job, just standing there watching everything, watching all the commotion, but he's at peace. He remembers this feeling, which is a long time ago, and he's just enjoying that sight right now, all the hustle and bustle that's going on.
So as you have risen from the sand and the waves have pushed you up onto the beach, you begin to see that same tavern build up on the brink of the island, right on the inland part of the island. You begin to see that for whatever reason, snow begins to fall on this paradise like island. And again, you are next to a gnome who is in some sort of armor. As this tavern begins to build up in your mind, as you begin to think about what is going on here, Tydox, what is your paradise, my friend?
So Tydox was also taken back to the times when he was under the kingdom of Groggenheim. Weird. But he
It's almost like that was planned.
it's crazy. The
Could have predicted.
when we were back in the day with my brother by my side, and he was leading his troops, and they're just doing training drills, and Tydox is there doing some of the smithy work. He hasn't really gotten too much into inventing at this point, but he does enjoy being around the smiths and the creatives rather than the drills. So he is probably wondering, like, hey, if we're in this paradise, these picturesque moment of his brother leading and his brother's family and his parents are back home.
You begin to hear the sounds of an anvil and a hammer, and that same tavern that was built for Urt begins to have a side of forge, of fire. The air begins to smell of smoldering lava. It begins to ashes. What you thought was snow, you realize has become ashes from the fire. And you look up next to you, you see your brother. But for some reason, he's a dragonborn.
Different dads.
A blue dragonborn, right? Silver, actually. Sorry. Silver dragonborn.
The audacity.
Audacity.
I knew it was Frost, my bad. Silver dragonborn. I knew it was silver too. I don't know why I said blue. Silver dragonborn.
You wouldn't know that it was Frost though, because remember that time show was on fire and Captain Urt didn't do anything about it. It's not like the frost was like there.
Having remembered that, yes.
You could have thought he was a fire dragon.
You see, to bring it back a little bit, you see in your embrace is your brother. But again, you're like 3 foot tall, maybe, and this is a hulking 7'8", but you are fully convinced that this person holding you is your brother.
Goodness. So, all right. Toulouse, what are we doing around here? Shouldn't you be running some drills with the recruits?
Recruits? What are you? I'm confused. What? We have the bar to watch. What recruits are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. We're at the tavern. Is it one of those? It's like a day off or something?
What do you mean we're at the tavern? Of course we are. Can't you see? Have you had too much to drink?
But
You're supposed to be serving the drinks, not drinking them.
Oh, no. I don't. I mean, I will bring you a water if you request, but most of the time I'm trying to, get the armor ready and make sure all the armaments are fit for battle. And you guys do quite a number on them during your trainings.
For battle, I'm confused. Are we? My gear's in the back. Are we going to war? Is there gangs coming?
There have been multiple wars, and you have been on the front lines of those wars. They don't often send your battalion much, but you go often. Maybe you should get your armor ready. Let's bring it out here. Let's make sure you are ready. You're acting quite strange.
I was gonna say the same thing about you.
Yeah, and as you guys are rightfully confused at what's going on, you hear in the distance the sound of cheering, of partying, of celebratory events, as if someone may have just, gotten back from war or whatever your minds may begin to think about, off towards the tavern.
Oh, shall we go towards? Because, I mean, they're obviously cheering for something. That's usually a reception for you, dear brother.
I'm so confused on what. Then we'll go. I'm okay. And then so Captain Erd is, and we're gonna start probably walking towards the cheering, but Captain Erd is obviously visibly confused. Like, why is the bartender just talking like about wars and brother? She's so confused.
Yeah, exactly. And as you guys continue to walk to the tavern, we move over to our other companions, Sho and Ranman. You guys have also woken up together in a weird sense. Again, same thing of you don't understand why you're here in this place. You have begun to arise from the sand as if the waves have pushed you onto this beach. You guys have not really understood why you're here, what here is, what it even means to be here, yet you do feel a sneaking suspicion that for whatever reason you two are bound together. We'll start with Sho. What is your paradise look like?
So Sho sees himself as being really small, probably 4 or 5 years old, and his older brother Valen is to the right of him, and he's sleeping in a dog pile with his siblings. And I'm thinking that probably Sho like is rolling over, and essentially it's like Ranman there, but it's like in his mind it's Valen, and so he's like kind of like rolls over, and he's like kind of pushing Valen off of the haystack, like giving me some room. I need to stretch out. It's early in the morning, and I think there's this like lingering thought in his like in his mind of like, oh, I don't think I've ever really been this comfortable before, as he's just snug as a bug in a rug with his siblings, and his belly feels really full, like he ate a bunch the night before. As the rooster, you can hear it like chirping outside. So I think he starts to get up, and he sees his mom and his dad as he pads out into the kitchen area, and his mother, gives him a tender kiss as he sits down for breakfast.
Yeah, and you smell, your senses overwhelmed with the smells of like a cinnamon apple sort of breakfast, banana, like beautiful, like morning breakfast. You smell the sweet aroma of like freshly made orange juice, citrus. As you look up at your parents, they seem like they're laughing and doing some cute little like your mom's like, or your dad's trying to like hold your mom by her hips, and you see your mom is like trying to push away, like not in front of the kids, like playfully, and they're just being playful, but they're not staring at you. They're facing off to the other side, as you're sitting there for breakfast. And Ranman, as you wake up, you again, same thing as Sho, but you see a figure sitting somewhere. But could you describe your paradise for me?
Yeah. Well, Raymond is also sitting down, but it's not for breakfast. It's for dinner. It's the night that was today they harvested his first beets, the ones he's been growing for a whole year. He's gonna have and they're gonna cook it for dinner. So he's gonna sit down with his family, all his brothers and sisters. He's gonna have a delicious beet dinner with his own beets.
As you are sitting there, you look to your right and you notice that again, one of your siblings. You are also rather short, but for your family, you're much bigger normally. You're normally the biggest one in the room. For whatever reason, you have now met your brother, who is littler than you age-wise, but is towering over you as far as being your brother. But for whatever reason, you sense that has to be your brother, and you guys are here at the table together. Same thing. You see your parents across from you as they're playfully getting ready for dinner and getting ready for this thing, not staring at you.
I guess I'll talk. Big brother, when did you outgrow me?
Shell like kind of like looks down at Adam and he's like, Valen, what are you talking about? You're always bigger than me. What you talking about? And then I think Shell's like looking around and he's like, beets? We don't grow beets. We grow wheat. Where do we get beets from?
Well, they're my beets, and if you have something to say about it, you can say it to my face.
And I think Shell like turns and he's like, Valen, when did you start growing beets? Like, you been keeping this from Mom and Pa? Like, how'd you do this? Go show me your farm.
Of course I've been growing beets. I've been growing them all season. That's what we do.
All season? I was like, no, it's all season. We just planted the wheat for next season. What do you mean?
I just had a bound for my first beets. I can't believe you're doing this on the night of my first beets.
Oh, and then Shell, I think, is like, oh no, I'm sure they're delicious, and he starts like digging in, like just eating all the beets. He's like, they're really good.
As you dig into the food, it tastes like sand, but for whatever reason, this sand—it's the texture and feeling of sand, yet the flavor is immaculate. It's the best thing you've ever eaten in your entire life. You feel it as it falls off your face, as it crunches in your teeth, as your teeth begin getting gritty and wet. You are enjoying what feels like the best meal of your life.
I think Shell's like still digging in, and Shell's probably like, I've never had beets before, so like he doesn't. I don't think he realizes the texture is really off. He's just like, yeah, this is kind of weird, but it tastes really good. And he's like, you did a good job on these, Valen.
Yes, they're delicious. I don't know if it's just me growing them or if they're just really good beets.
Randon, same
I'm
for
sure.
you. Very earthy, very beet-like flavors, but
Like, oh.
immaculate.
Just loves it. It's so delicious. I could taste the earthy texture. Is that a little bit of basil? Mother, you shouldn't have.
As you guys have begun to enjoy your food, two strangers begin to walk up to the tavern. And you hear them knock on the door. You hear your mother and father just welcome them in. Captain Ert and Tydox, we get to you as you walk up to the tavern. You knock on the door and you see what looks to be one kid, but he's about 6'6", and you see another kid who's about 3 foot tall and unbelievably hairy for someone who is meant to be a kid sitting at a table. What you believe is a tavern.
So if I'm walking in, I'd be like, who? What is going on? Who
You're
are you
one-
people?
You're one big fella. You're even bigger than my big brother, who's actually bigger than me now.
No, I'm the little brother, and you're the big brother.
Well, it doesn't look like that to me.
Oh, you guys are brothers as well? Yes, this is my brother also. This is weird that we have two families here.
Where you guys come from? Why are you in our house? These are our beets also. My brother worked really hard on these.
I did.
We don't see it as a house, right?
No.
We still see it as a
We see it
tavern.
Tavern.
Jesus Christ.
Do we see them as children though? 'Cause that's the
I think so. Yeah.
I was like, what are these children doing in this tavern?
I don't know if anybody except Sho seems himself like Sho thinks he's little.
How do we
Right.
see them?
You do see them as
Oh, okay.
normal individuals,
Oh.
a party to the people, but I just said children so that they knew that they were the ones that were sitting at the
Yeah.
table. But you see them as normal bartender, like patrons who are there.
Is there anybody else in here? Or is it just the four of us right now?
Go ahead and roll for the first time. Let's roll a perception.
Okay.
Everyone or just him?
Everyone can, and I will give you different details. If you want to roll an
Just one
investigation or, yeah, it's just a D20.
I'd love to roll an investigation.
I
Oh
got
shit!
a 16 plus what is it? Perception?
Dang.
Yeah.
So I got 17.
Okay.
I can get a 17 on something useless.
I got
That's
13
crazy.
minus 2 for 11.
So 11 for perception.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond, you get advantage on these as well.
Dang. I got
That's
a.
true. That's
I
true.
also got an 18 on investigation.
Okay.
I got a
Good
plus
thing I
7,
have-
so the roll really wasn't that good.
Good thing I have advantage. I was on that one.
So the other one was a 10, right?
Yeah.
So I will give the 3 perception and then the 10. We'll start with anybody who got a 15 or over.
Oh, Did we do perception or investigation?
You did investigation.
You
You
said
could do
either or.
either. You could do
Oh,
either.
okay. Perfect.
I'll
Okay.
give you different
Yeah.
information.
Gotcha. I was over 15.
And then Show, yours was 10 higher, right? And so
11.
Raymond. Okay, so I'll start
us,
there.
we'll just care. Us two siblings are just over in our own world.
Well, you do
Eating my
get
beets.
some information. So I'll start with that, and then I'll go to the 15 information. So,
Okay.
Raymond and Joe, you notice that there's not really anybody else around, yet you hear voices that aren't the two strangers who just got here. Things that you don't see really anybody else around. You don't feel like there's anybody else. One, it's your home. The only people who should be here are the people who are in your family, right? And so you see nothing outside of those people, but you hear the voices of many, many others. Some other things that you guys not only see, but you feel a strong connection to these two people who have walked in, these strangers in your eyes. You feel like you've known them for a long time, and it's weird to call them strangers. But they look as if just like before, they look like a dragon-born person, so a dragon that's walking essentially, and a tiny little gnome. But you feel some sort of deep connection to them.
As your point of order, I don't know if I would be in the suit right now, because if I felt, paradise-like, I don't think I'd be wearing the suit.
I also don't think you'd be wearing the suit, as far as you can tell. I will get back to it
Yeah.
maybe later, but
Yeah.
you also don't feel any of your weapons, but we won't talk about that right now because you're in Paradise Land.
Yeah, no weapons of paradise.
Yeah.
That's why he put me with Ert.
Weapons are paradise. I'm confused.
That's
Crazy. I want to be surrounded by weapons. And that's crazy.
Weapons are my culture.
Weapons
Yeah.
are my culture.
Ert, with a 15 or higher, what you notice is that there is a man sitting off in the corner, much like was described very early on in classic D&D when we did our first thing. You see a man brooding in the corner who is drinking with his friends and his doing sorts of, celebratory, and you feel a weird connection to him. And Tydox, the same as with your investigation, you notice all those other things too, but that's the bigger thing that you notice.
Yeah.
And then Tydox, with your investigation, you notice that this place that you are on, that the wood that should have made the table that should be, is sand. As you look closer, it's like someone has built a gigantic, like a classic sand castle and thing.
Yeah.
But for some reason, everything here is sand, and it is made of sand, and it is. Drinks are sandy, and what you notice is that, again, you see a guy sitting, brooding in the corner, celebrating with his what look like compatriots. But as you look at some of those other people, they are sand.
So Tydox notices that there's sand. I just noticed that there's a dude brooding in the corner.
Yeah.
Correct?
And you feel a weird connection to him as well.
But I can't quite put a...
You can't put a finger to it. You've never seen this guy before. You have no idea what would be that connection, but you feel a similar connection that you felt with these other people at the table. You feel with this guy who's off in the corner of the bar for you. And then Tydox, what he does, he feels the same thing, or he sees it and investigates it, but he also notices that everything here is made of sand.
Now, question: do Tydox and myself, even though we're not aware, we have a connection of some sort? Are our feelings connected? Like, can I feel that?
Can you feel that everything is made of sand? No.
No, can I feel that Tydox also feels that dude in the corner is weird? I'm like, okay, we're both picking up that guy's weird.
Roll an insight.
Okay. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but...
Yeah.
In the meantime, I think because you said that we noticed that nobody else is around except for us and that we hear the voices, I think that Sho essentially thinks he's looking for his other siblings who aren't there because he thinks Randman is Alan. So he's I think kind of gotten out of his seat and is just kind of looking around, and he's being Kara, Tara, where are you guys? And is just kind of wandering around the room.
Yeah. And as you begin to search for them, you hear their voices fill your mind. And as you begin to hear their voices, something seems off.
Okay.
What is your... What'd you roll?
I rolled a 17.
You absolutely feel the same feelings. Not only that Tydox feels, but everybody within this room. You feel their hearts. You begin to hear these same voices that Sho is hearing. You hear what you have no idea, but you hear human voices. A little girl, a little boy.
So I feel that something is off for sure, but I can't. Same thing, but I'm hearing maybe it's a little bit more of it's coming to me than other people. So
exactly. Yeah. It has begun to feel in your brain something's fucked up about this place.
Okay. So then at this point, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying that there's a man who feels connected but also different than you.
So then at this point, I would most likely, I feel as off, but I feel, in this case, Tydox, who is the bartender, I'm aware of who Barasha for right now because the name I totally have planned. And
I think we wrote the name.
did we? I don't remember what.
He's like, yeah, of course we did.
Yeah,
His
we
name is
did. Yeah.
Azariel.
Oh, perfect,
Holy
Azariel.
Chet.
And then so at that point, I would
Look at me,
turn
being a
to.
good DM.
That's crazy. I would turn like, Azariel, let's come with me. And then I would beckon him to come, and I would actually start walking towards the Mr. Brooding figure.
All right. And Mr. Brooding Figure, you begin to see
Well,
two...
wait, does Tydox come with me?
Oh,
I don't know if Tydox
yeah.
is even following me.
Oh, Tydex would definitely come with you because he's like, yeah,
I'm going to assume
he's still
I'm the brooding
investigating.
You are the Brooding Figure. You begin to see two men approach you. You are surrounded by what looks like your compatriots. You're telling war stories. You're telling stories of how you've conquered this battle or these conquests, and you're kind of reliving all this hype and joy, and you're slapping drinks together with some people and some friends as you're here. What were you gonna say, Tydox?
As the point of order, when Ert wanted me to go with him, I would have turned to the two that we met that we were talking to, which is Sho and Ranman. Be like, oh, okay. I will be following my brother because I believe we are meeting his company. But you have a lovely home. I think it's great that you guys live in a tavern. But thank you for
Tavern.
yeah. Bye bye.
So like just looks at Randman and is just like, what is this? What is this guy's problem? What is he doing in our house?
Randman's like, something's off, but the beet soup, great. In fact, it does not taste that different from normal beets at his house because of all the mud.
He's like, this is spot
This
on.
is like spot on. Yeah. So, Brooding Figure, could you describe what your character looks like? And then we'll get to you. I'll set up the scene again, but can you describe what you look like?
He has a helmet on, and he's still armed as if he just came back from a battle, but more relaxed, where things are loosened up, pouches are loose, and he has a mug in his hand full of ale. And he's just talking with his compatriots.
Perfect. And so, yeah, you guys see as he's again celebrating and cheering. You hear the banging of glasses together, and Brooding Figure. You hear the sounds of a bar maiden who's singing a beautiful tune of your conquests, your exploits, your all this celebratory of you being the hero that you wish that you were, that you're this big, mighty guy, as what you believe are two figures who are coming to sign an autograph or of some sort of like fanfic of, to hear of your exploits.
Headshots, like somebody's quickly etching out his face. And it's like,
Yeah.
Oi, maiden! Sing the song again when we have slain the beast! But don't leave out the part where old Jimmy over there has pissed his pants, because that's something that they're not going to sing to you. Oi, you two! You're trying to get the autograph of the famous Slayer? The name's Darknull. Come over and hit her for your autograph.
And then, at this point, I'm just looking to the left of Azariel, and I'm like, who does he think he is? I'm just going to start walking.
I think he thinks his name is Dark now.
Dark now? What kind of name is Dark now?
It's a pretty cool name, I'm not going to lie.
I was like, ooh.
from the guy naming himself Ert.
Ert was cool. Ert Dussy was a terrible name.
Sheesh.
No, I'm gonna look at. I'll just kind of look at. I'll look at Azariel, and then I'll look back.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because I
Yeah, right, you're-
I don't know your Tydock yet.
I know you're right.
Original
I
thing,
forgot. I
and
forgot.
And I was like, "Who are you?" And then obviously you have this no, because I can't see anything. I just see.
You just see
with his
him.
finger.
You don't see
I don't even
him
see-
around
I don't-
anything.
yeah.
You also don't hear any music or any.
Yeah.
You know, he calls out to the barmaid, who again, Darknall. You hear that the maiden, she begins to sing your conquest of slaying dragons and all this, like, you know, amazing feats of things that, you know, are hearing. Yeah, and I see exactly that. You know.
Yeah.
He's living his best life, and Ronald's like, it's a fucking
And we're just
loon.
yeah. Then Urt would just go up to him, and because I obviously like I noticed something. Who are you? Dark now. What? I've never heard of you before.
I'm the slayer of the mighty beast. Have you not heard? The maiden is singing!
The bar maiden is. I'm just looking at Azuriel because she's the bar maiden, and I was like, what is going on?
Do you want the autograph or not?
What is going on?
Sure. Yeah, we'll take an autograph from you. I think, yeah, Tydox would have taken some, like, because he is still kind of like the blacksmith. He would have taken kind of like the scratch pad and one of the then times equivalent of like the marker pen and just like, oh, great. What do you appear to be celebrating? What was the creature you slain?
Well, here, my comrades, we came here and we slayed a beast, and from there we came to drink some of this fine mead from this bar. And what's your name, so I could sign it appropriately?
My name is Tydox.
Pleasure to meet you, Tydox.
And then I
hear
notice
him say Tydox. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and I
Tydox
say
Trubel.
Tydox, and I'm like,
And yeah, and this is my brother. Toulouse Tydox.
Brother.
Toulouse.
You're literally your big brother.
He's my older sibling. Yes.
as he's looking up at part of the big brother.
Yeah, right. It's my older brother.
Little short to be the older brother, aren't you?
Oh no, he's the older brother.
Oh. What's your name?
Captain Urt.
Captain.
Urt?
Captain of what? Captain of height?
Can Urt.
Tydox, would you roll me an insight?
Could I roll you a history check, or do you want me to roll you an insight?
You could do both. You could do either. I'll give you I'll give you different information based off of what you roll.
Oh!
But
Shit. Okay.
That sounds good.
I mean, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do history because that's like +2 more. I fucking needed it. History got a stout 11.
11.
Which means I rolled a fucking 2.
With your 11.
Yeah.
What with your 11, you have begun to. You said with a history, right?
History. Yeah.
Gotcha. So when he says Captain Urt, you remember deep in your heart of this captain, this glorious dragon who is feared among the kingdom of Elysium. This war-forged man who has conquered and slayed. You hear these dark beasts' conquest of him. You feel a sense of reverence of sorts as you hear the name Captain Urt, and you also recognize that that's not your brother's name.
Yeah. Phew! Glad it was high enough for that.
That was only a 5.
Okay.
But
Oh, good, because I
Imagine
again
failing that?
rolled
That'd be crazy.
I rolled a 2. History has +9, so thank God. Yeah, I almost failed that. Okay, so after that I think Ert. Oh, okay. Hey, Captain Ert, and Tydox is like playing along with it, like because he now thinks like
Your brother
his brother is
is-
undercover and we're on a mission. So
Yeah.
we're like, is this the contact we're looking for with the information? Darknell, was your beast that you slain one of shoot Andariel descent?
Listen, little one. I don't know what kind of beast it was, but I know it was dead.
I know.
And then I hear Andario after he asked that, because obviously, you know, like, Andario is... Are you from Andario? Dark now?
I am not.
How much backstory do you give him? I'm sorry.
I've given him a ton, so I know
You
everything
probably-
that he. You know.
Probably poofed his little brain. Sorry, Delta. We're throwing out names.
No, we wrote a ton of stuff down. We spent
Hell
an
yeah.
hour talking about stuff.
Hang on. Darknell takes another swig of the beer.
There we go.
Sorry, I am from Ondrel, but the meat is starting to get to me, so I apologize.
And then at this point, I mean, you know, because Captain Nerd's obviously feeling something. Obviously, he knows like something is just not right. He's from Ontario. Tydox is just realized that, you know, a contact. So I think Captain Nerd's kind of going through it right now, and he's trying to. He obviously can't figure out what's going on, but does Captain Nerd have any of his stuff on him?
You don't. You don't notice that you have anything on you.
Okay. Can I search myself?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Give yourself an investigation. Show, what were you going to say earlier? Sorry. While he's doing that.
So I think at this point of, like, Show, I think, is in the background right now, and he's just, like, he is climbing under tables. He is, like, looking everywhere for his siblings. And I think at this point he's probably dragged in Raymond because he's like, I can't find Clemmy. I haven't seen Eureka and Myra. Like, where are the babies? Like, all my siblings are gone. Like, something is wrong. And so I think he's like just searching. Like, he's just like, where? Like, Kara and Kara are gone. Like, what is happening? And I think he's like getting upset, kind of in the background.
Raymond is also looking for his siblings, so he's like,
We're both looking for our own
Nora.
siblings, and we're all like, "Who are you talking about? That's not any of our siblings' names."
"That's not. Was that one of our siblings? I don't know."
What was your investigation?
In typical Ert fashion, when it comes
No.
to something important, he rolls on that one.
You begin to search yourself, and not that you again. This is your paradise in your head,
Yeah.
right? You begin to search yourself, and you begin to find things that you don't have on your body that you should have had. You know, like you don't find a sword or like thing, but you pull out like a watch or like a like something of that nature. You know, like a antique thing. And as you look at like a picture of some sort, you know, it's not really like it's like a drawing more of anything, but you pull out something that is of you, but it's not you. You see this
Like a picture?
Yeah, you see this picture of what could be you. The most ideal version of you. The perfect version of Ert. You see, what would that look like?
What that look like?
I would.
We can pass an investigation check.
Yeah, that's what. Something we can hit a target, you know. There's stuff. I know.
Or Ert.
I know. Basically, Captain Ert, he sees his perfect being where he's in iron. He's in a gilded armor set with shining silver and blue gilding trim around the entire armor. He's got his big sword on his back. He's looking very stout, and he's staring off into the mountains, and that's what Captain Erd looks like, just in peace and solitude, with his full set of armor on, with his sword on his back, and just kind of looking over the horizons, getting ready to move forward.
As you stare deeply into this picture, you begin to notice that your body is covered in a silver armor. You feel the weight of a powerful sword on your back. Tydox, as you look over at him, you see Captain Ert, or you see your older brother just checking himself out in a weird, like, what are you doing here, man?
Full adorned.
Yeah. Well, he's not fully adorned in your eyes. In your
Oh,
I see
okay.
what he's doing too.
Yeah, you see him doing this
you
as
probably
well.
just see
Yeah.
Captain Erd going like, because I'm assuming it peering on me, and I'm just like, what
Yeah.
the hell?
It's as if
You
it
know?
just says like God itself has granted you this extremely powerful magic weapon, or magic armor.
Because Darknell thinks he's drinking, it would be appropriate to be like, I'm gonna give like a buzz response or like a
Yeah.
drunk response and to Tydex.
Yeah.
Oi, you, Tydex. What's wrong with him? Why is he being weird?
I maybe I kind of thought that was maybe like the call sign signal. Aren't you? I mean, I'm no good at this espionage thing, but maybe you're the informant from Andrel, and you are supposed to do some sort of secret handshake with him. Maybe?
I've seen them secret handshakes, but I don't know what the hell that is.
It's a new one on me. I usually just stay here by the forge and do the armor. That's a nice weapon you have there. Oh wait, he doesn't have
You don't see
his armor.
any.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't see any.
No.
I didn't see any
Yeah,
of
you
that.
just see your brother. Only Captain Erd sees him and like looking sexy,
Mhm.
And all you guys see is like, what the hell? He's just checking himself out. Damn.
Just experimenting.
Captain Ori, what are you doing?
Look at him. Goody. You better watch your tone.
You better watch your whatever the heck you're doing. That's uncomfortable, man. You need some meat.
As you continue to drink this Dark Melon, and you begin to get closer to these people, something you haven't noticed, but you begin to notice, is that all of your compatriots are gone. They haven't been there. The people that you've been celebrating with are missing. They're gone. They're, and you don't remember them leaving.
All right. Hey, boys, check this Captain Ernie guy. Goes, hey, boys. Hello.
Oh,
Where did he go? Where's compatriots went?
Show, I think, seeing like somebody else also looking, I think he like goes up and he still thinks he's little, and I think he's like, "Did you lose your family too?" And then he's like pats him, kind of like, "That's too bad. Like, we can look together though. Valen and I are trying to find them right now."
So you guys came up to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Us.
All right, I'm still thinking on Buzz. So I was like, who are you?
I'm Show.
Show is also
So-
very tall as well.
Show is
I'm
fucking
very
huge.
tall. Yeah.
However, Randman is not.
Yeah.
So, are we doing a rescue mission? Is that what, or maybe a prisoner exchange? I'm confused as to what the information here is.
Rescue, prisoner, exchange. Mate, we're here drinking to celebrate, but I don't know where my compatriots went. Do you know where they went? Did you see them? I was too busy looking at your weird friend over there. I think I missed them.
he is pretty weird.
The last ones you had with you were, I thought they were, disguises. I think everything you had near you was made of sand.
Sand? No. This mead was some of the fine mead that I got served at this tavern.
As you pull it up, take another drink, you begin to taste sand. And for whatever reason, it's never tasted like sand. It's always been this amazing elvish mead, this wonderful tasting. It's like, you know, grape and cherry. It's this beautiful, you know, mead that you've had, and now it's earthy and dirty.
Must be a stout.
I mean, this meat is delicious. It's wait, what the? Where's the meat gone? Where's my?
What?
Did you all take my meat?
And we never actually had the meat. Is this more code, brother? I mean,
Mate, this ain't no
Captain
code. The only
Ert.
code you need to figure out is where's my meat.
Is this what meat tastes like? It's like sand.
No, it's
Tastes
not
like
sand.
beets.
That's true.
Nobody took any
Can I-
mead.
Well,
Can I
clearly you
roll,
put on it. Look at you.
Can you
I think I
roll-
want to roll another. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna roll another investigation check to see if I can see what's going on with Darknell and if he's really who the contact that Tydox thinks he is.
Is
Yeah.
there anything I can roll to kind of start figuring out, like,
Uh,
where the hell
Tydox,
am I?
roll an investigation.
Yay!
Dark Knight,
Okay.
roll an insight, because I think this is a very moment of like
Clarity.
clarity.
And that's D20, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
you can
Dark
use
Nell?
it as well on the sheet, or if you have dice as well. You just click.
I'm
that,
gonna use the.
You just click
the
that
D&D
button.
one.
If you click that button that says insight, that's.
I
what
rolled a
it'll roll.
16.
So you can roll the custom, or you can actually just click those buttons itself. But since you rolled a 16, you
And I rolled a
add-
22 for
plus
investigation.
Oh, dark.
Okay, so Dark Null, and then I'll go Tydox, and then I'll go Dark Null. So Tydox, with 22 investigation, you see light has begun to pour over this place, as if the sun has come up, but whatever reason, you're inside, and there was no windows. But now all of a sudden, there is a light. It's like the morning sun has now hit you. You see, with the 22, I'm going to give you a lot of information right here.
Perf,
You
because
see-
that was good.
You see the sun. You see this. You see the shining bright. Outside it was ashes had been falling out. You don't notice any of that anymore. It looks like you hear the ocean. You do all this stuff. The other pieces of investigation, you see that everything around you is sand. It's as if you're just sitting on a beach outside, and you were like, I was in a tavern. What the heck is happening right now? The next thing you notice is that the 4 people that are near you are all sitting on sand, or in Show's case, had been climbing through sand. There's like holes and stuff, and you see them for who they really are. Captain Ert is this dragonborn. You see what he has been. You see the armor. You begin to see, not their
You can
best.
see clearly.
You can see clearly. You get a
The sand
clear
is
line.
down.
But you see them at their worst, who they really are, who they actually are. Not their bravado, not their ego, not their, what they're trying to fool or show. You see
Got it.
Dark Null,
Is
for
any gecko.
example, is very intoxicated. You see him mud all over his face. You see his, he's wearing a piratey-esque outfit, and you see, the leather, his buttons are torn. You see on his shoulder, you see a dagger that is jagged and stabbed into a hole, a symbol of a dagger. You see really just those 4. And you also begin to notice that there's 4 missing footprints that have wandered off deeper into the island. As you remember that, wasn't there 2 people else that were in your party? And that's what you get with a 22. What'd you get? You said a 16 plus 2 dark null for your insight. Your insight, you begin to see that everything around you is sand. And it's been sand. And has been sand. And will always be sand. And everything that you've been drinking has been just you eating sand. And you grabbing sand from your hands. And your hands are dirty. And you don't know how long you've been here, but you now have realized that you're sitting at the beach and have been devouring sand for an undisclosed amount of time.
And an undisclosed amount of sand.
So can I start sobering up then, seeing that it was all sand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Boy,
Sobering.
you mean to tell me I've been drinking sand this whole time? I think I'm gonna puke. Where's everybody? Where'd you all come from?
Would we know where we came from? I think we would still know what happened.
Tydox
once we
and
got out
Ert,
of it.
when he asked this question, you remember that you're not from here, but you remember you begin to remember bits and pieces of your old life. You now remember, Captain Ert and Tydox, that you guys were adventuring together.
I think Sholo
as there were-
answering Dark Null would be like, "You're in my house, buddy. Like, what do you think you're doing here?" Like,
Show and Ramen also give me an insight check.
That's all right.
So
As he
as they're
begins to
doing
talk
that,
about that.
as I ask that question, they're explaining. Is Darknull getting like standing up from the sand, just like dusting himself off, like spitting out sand and like retightening everything up, seeing that he's no longer relaxed and enjoying his time?
Certainly, you can for sure do that.
I got a 7.
Got it. 18.
Goodness for Randman.
You begin to see this place for what it really is. You are in sand, a beach. You begin to hear the ocean again. You feel, though, that everything that you've been a part of has been sand. And you've never been in your house. And Sho is not your brother. He's your adventuring friend.
I feel like I would look at the party and everyone, can we say our names? And I point to Ert and say, "You, name and rank," because I know that he's gonna say exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then, and then to Darknull.
I've been known as Darknull.
Show.
I'm Shonen Gold. I'll have a rank. I'm 4.
And Ranman.
I don't have a rank either. Can I get one? Can I have a rank?
But the last 2, you remember we are technically in Yosef's court now. We have rank.
Yosef.
We are together.
When he
And,
said
I don't know a Yosef.
Darknull, you remember that name. But why?
Yosef.
I want to let them figure that out. Ranman, you look like you've got some insight. Maybe you can help explain what's going on here while I use can I ritually cast like identify on the sand that we see?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
So that's a thing that takes, 10-ish minutes.
Oh.
While you are ritually casting this, as you begin to ponder and look at the sand, you feel
think-
your, the little light come out. You feel. You're not in your armor, at least from what you can see. But
What I
as
can
soon
see.
as you begin to identify, you remember that you're in a suit of armor, a robot of sorts that you have created. You begin to see Artie, who has come and, or not his name. No, what's his name? No,
You're right, but
Archie?
Archie.
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 you're that's his
Oh,
name. But
Oh no, he's gone. I forgot.
Oh,
No. Yeah.
Continue. It's been almost 3 months to the day.
My bad.
All
My bad.
you reminded him.
Anyway, so you see a light come out, and you see, out of nowhere, seemingly for you, that has begun to identify the sand. We'll come back to that as you think about it. Darknull, you heard the word Joseph, and for whatever reason, you remember his
Joseph.
name.
Okay, I asked you a question about it.
Oh, it sent me? My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry,
And
just
as
giving
that
spoilers.
background is going on, I think Show is getting really frustrated with who he thinks is Valen, and he's like, what are you talking about? Like, he's in the background, like, starting to get really, like, frustrated and upset, I think.
And
So,
as you
Mm.
get frustrated and upset,
Having a tantrum of
you
sorts.
begin to notice the same things that everyone else has noticed. Everything around you is sand. And it has always been sand. And it will forever be sand.
and then I think Show, as he's like running it through his hands, and I think he like starts to have memories back of like the famine that took place to why his family's starting to starve, and I think he's starting to get that visions back of what his whole like old life was.
And you
Oi! I remember this Yosef fella. He's the one that tasked me to go find this magic item. I think MacGuffin, I think it was called.
Oh, you too? I was starting to think that wasn't real either.
You said a McMuffin?
And now,
Not real.
yeah, as he says that, you guys all begin to remember the quest that you've been on together.
Can I blurt out what I've discovered
Mhm.
at this point?
Yeah.
Not real. What do you mean not real? I found 2, and I know where the other 2 are.
Bruh. Does that interrupt my investigation? Because if this motherfucker found 2, then I'm gonna be like,
That's exactly when we get the detector going off like ding, ding,
Sorry.
ding, ding.
this man.
He knows where 2 are. He does not have 2 in his possession. He knows where 2 are.
This fucking guy's level 16 and we're out here at 4. He's like, I got 2 of them.
Yeah, well, you guys
He
did.
knows-
I already conquered.
He knows where another 2 are.
For fun's sake, can we let the group think that I do have the 2 because
Yeah.
I said it that way?
100%. Well, Dinox is gonna think you fucking got 2.
Oh, the detector probably is going off still. So-
I think at this point,
Where-
yeah,
Where's
dude,
the orb?
My ball?
your
Oh,
ball.
but that's what I was trying to get. I was trying to find it, and then I failed my fucking investigation search on myself.
So,
I was trying to find it,
as-
but I could not find it.
Grabs
as
his other
everybody
balls.
has
All right.
begun to start remembering the things of their old past of being on this adventure together, you feel a pulsating coming from your and you had used this to find the temple, and you recognize that it is pulsating very quickly at this point.
And then at that point, I would pull out my orb of undoing, and then I'd probably just pull it out right in front and be like, we're near an artifact, and it's
Oh,
just
out
kind
in
of clicking.
public.
Yeah, out in public too. Heck yeah. I mean, because I obviously I realized, and I was like, "There's an artifact nearby." Darknull, you have two?
I have found two.
Where are they?
Explain.
I'm Batman.
In Magic Hot Springs.
A magic hot spring. What the? A magic hot springs?
Yes.
Are you
One
saying
in a
there's
Heaven's
two of
Ascent.
them in here? Oh,
In the mythical land of Florida.
Flow Rider.
Florida.
I know of two. And I know on the location of another two, but I have not confirmed.
mm. Wow.
So
you-
Darknull, you are Yusuf's contact. You were supposed to. How did we end up here?
Whoa, I am not a contact. I was hired by your task.
And then I can realize this is Tydox now. Right?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
certainly
Okay, at
have
this
now
point I
begun
realize
to
it's
realize.
Tydox.
And
And I was like-
whenever you feel like 10 minutes may have passed, then I'll.
Is Tydoc still thinking I have two on me?
Yeah.
Well,
I can still
well,
hear you,
maybe-
but I'm doing an
Yeah.
investigation on the sand, so it takes roughly 10 minutes. So I got some time to
so as
not
you,
necessarily interact.
I would ask where Darknull, where's this hot springs at, or the springs are at to these. I would ask where are these springs at that contain the artifacts.
The two locations, one is in Heaven's Ascent, is in a tower far east, and the other one is in Amun-Ra, deep in a desert inside a king's tomb.
Oh,
Okay, well this looks like we're in a desert right now.
Oh, I thought this was a tavern.
You would also remember that those were two of the
Those
same
names.
locations that you didn't know the name of them, but they do line up with the two other spots of places that you were looking for.
Yeah.
The other two locations that you already
remember
have. Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Shell is having like a full blown meltdown at this point in the background, but then like he's like, "Oh my god!" Like we just got like he's like, "Oh, like I'm like want to go back to my family," but then when he hears Heaven's Ascent, he kind of like perks up and he's like, "Isn't that where that Jade Wyvern is? Remember that lady told us about it? You remember her? What's her name? It seems so long ago." And then he like thinks back about it, and then he's like, the doctor. She told us about that wyvern, but I don't know the other one. And then he just kind of melts back into the sand again.
Just sinking in the sand.
He pops in and then just pops right
It's
back.
very
Like back out
self-same.
exactly, and then he just like one of those frogs.
Like
goes back in the
or
sand.
the snake just kind of wiggles back
Yeah.
in there.
One with the sand.
And one with the sand. The last thing I remember before we got here is we were in the Lake of Tranquility. This does not look like a lake. We are in a desert.
The swamp puppy.
Mhm.
Shell pops up again.
We went that door. The
Yoink.
really big door.
Yoink.
Yoink.
Where's that 20-footer at?
Where's that 20-foot python at?
The swamp puppy, or are you calling Captain Earth the swamp puppy?
I am the swamp puppy.
I think Shell is just remembering like that like term. I think just popped up in his head like as like where were we last, and he just is swamp puppy. That's all he like thinks.
So at this point, you guys remember that you guys have entered into this fortress. I think at this point, you all have seen that you're now sitting outside in the sand, and you see 4 missing footprints. And you remember that there was 2 other people in your group. And as you guys begin to remember that there's 2 people missing, you feel the waves begin to get closer and closer to you.
Did I finish my
Is the island
investigation?
sinking? Is the island sinking for anyone else?
Those two look like they're kind of getting closer to us, and then I think at that point, Show pops all the way up, and he's like, "Raven!" and he like looks around, and then it's like, "Oh, we're missing Raven and Bubba. What happened?"
Quickly grab onto me, I'll float.
And
Wait.
Dark Gnome.
Raven.
Yeah.
I know that guy. I was drinking mead with him. Well, sand mead, but still, nonetheless, mead. I was drinking with him. He's at the bar.
This sand is rather interesting.
Raven would probably be at a bar. That sounds about right for him. And then Show kind of looks around and he's like, "Wait, the bar's gone though now." I think he like realizes that we gotta go. I gotta move. Starts dusting himself off.
Did I get any information about the
And 10
sand?
minutes has finally passed.
Thank God. My God.
You're getting there. My bad. Okay.
It's okay. I was like, fuck.
10 minutes has
My
passed.
sand.
And you hear a ding pop into your head. And then you hear Tide Hawks. Oh, and then the identifier.
Yeah.
Already, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. We freaking named everything. So confusing, damn it. All right.
Hey, you wanted everything named. That's what you get.
That's what I get.
But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So good.
The world you created.
Adi here, and the sand that you are looking at seems to be from the realm of the water. It does not seem like it's from the same plane of existence that you or I have been a part of. I know we're doing this all together, but this seems strange. It's unidentified sand. Also, if you notice, the water is mixing into this is some sort of creature. And that's what you get from the 10 minutes of identify.
Yeah, swamp puppy.
That's lovely.
And as you hear creature, the water is dangerously close to you, as if walking on its own.
Show, you're right. We need to get out of here. We need to follow this. Which way do the tracks go?
They go off towards like inland.
Away from water.
Yeah, away from the water.
Yeah. We need to go see if we can find Raven and El Redeem.
Now redeem the mansion, man. We haven't seen that guy in ages. I'm worried about Raven.
Can
Nonetheless,
Show-
we
and
still
Show
need
is
to
like-
keep
Can
him
I
alive.
use a passive check, but in the sense of like, now that like I have identified that like I drank with Raven, which footsteps we need to follow?
They're both going the same direction.
They go the same way, but
Okay.
yeah. Casting Identify costs like a spell slot, but
Not
when they
when
have
you
an
ritual.
R next to them, when they have an R next to them, you have to like in game spend 10 minutes. So I wouldn't do that probably because we would get eaten by this water that's rapidly approaching. So we need to get out of here, guys. Let's and I'm just gonna like
Show's already
start,
walking
Yeah,
away.
I was like,
like
Oh,
push it. Let's go.
Let's follow your mate over there and go find Raven.
As you
Because
guys
water's back that way.
continue to walk in, and you recognize that this place is completely different. You seem as though you're walking in a circle. As you're going inland, you have a sneaking suspicion that the ocean is still following you. It continues to be closely behind as you continue to walk. I don't know if at this point you guys tried to run or try to move faster, but as far as you've walked, you look back and the ocean has just followed at that point.
so we can see the ocean, right? Like it's we can see the ocean, and then okay, it was clearly moving towards us. We're on the sand. We're running towards these paw prints that we keep seeing, right?
Yeah.
That's what's and then okay, and then so I'm assuming we've probably been it doesn't seem like we're making any progress. At that point, I'd probably tell the group, wait, Tydox, the ocean, is it following us still? It doesn't look like it's moving. We haven't gone any further away from it.
I think you're right. That identified told us that it's definitely a creature. So it was probably chasing us. We need to either dispatch it or find a way to get away from it.
Do we have our gear?
Yep. At this point,
We
you
do
have
have
all
our gear.
seen. You've all waken up into your original selves as if you have walked inside this place. So everything that you have had at this point, up to walking into this temple, you have.
Am I still like not remembering everything?
It's still foggy. You've been here a lot longer, so it's foggy for you.
Is my ball done anything crazy?
It is pulsating at the same way.
That it's been pulsing in?
Raymond has learned his lessons from previous encounters, so he's going to initiate, and he's going to throw a rock at the water. He's had enough bad times.
Hell yeah.
You throw a rock at the water. Go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay.
Heck yeah, that's what I like to hear.
I expected to just skip across the surface.
He misses and the
Nine.
water just moves. Oh my god.
As you throw the water splits in half.
As you throw the rock, the
Or, sorry.
fucking
As you throw
no.
the rock,
So-
the water splits in
So
half.
at this point, seeing that like Darknell's memory is still foggy, and now he's somehow became part of this group. I'm trying to remember like of all my the compatriots I was drinking with and figuring out like, hey, like were you guys like what's y'all's story? Because I'm still like I'm a stranger to y'all at this point, and I'm trying to like not be a stranger.
You're running with us, boy. we'll figure it out
Another
later.
crew.
There's possibly a monster gonna eat us. We got this.
I think Sho would have also
I'm not worried
like,
about the water. F the
whistled,
water.
whistled at like Ramon's throat, like as though like he's like look at that throw, Ramon, like you just split that water in half. That's pretty cool.
The water itself also did not come back together. It is split
Oh.
in half.
Ooh.
That's two waters,
I
you
think-
fucking dick.
Well, then I would ask I would ask crap, what's your name, Zorfias?
Ran.
Raymond.
Raymond.
The new guy remembered his name.
That's crazy.
Welcome to D&D with Wicket.
Yeah, Captain Forgetful over there.
I remember your name, mostly because you say it like every 5 minutes.
So true. You gotta
I'm
say his name
Captain
more.
Nerd.
Oh, I'm Captain Nerd. I made it short so I could remember it easier. But I would be like,
Jeez.
after I seen that, I'm like, Raymond, can you use your eyeball to identify that? What just happened there?
Raymond's seeing eye.
It's a seeing eye.
Will you roll either a perception or investigation with advantage?
Maybe if you want to.
Advantage. 18.
An 18. So your eyes begin to glow.
Is that with advantage?
Mm-hmm.
With your eye, it begins to glow. So everyone around him sees his eye begin to shine. The eye then sees what looks to be 1,000 different images. Like you know when you're like chunk loading in like Minecraft or something, and you pop up and you see like the little square of like ding 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 ding. You know. And you recognize that this water is all a bunch of individual pieces.
It's all water, but it's all one.
It's all one.
It's all one, but they're all separate.
Sho like gets down to like Ramon's like level and like shakes him and he's like, what does this mean?
It's just frozen. It's too much information.
Yeah.
He's like lagging.
He's like, yeah, it's a buff screen. He sees way too many things as he turns and looks at it. He's like, what the fuck?
It's so
It
much
is-
water.
Now that we just we turned around and looked at it, is it still moving towards us or just staying there?
You have not seen it move closer to you, as you guys have been staring at it.
Can Dargnell notice that it didn't move towards us and then try to break it in more in half?
Yeah, you can shoot it, throw something at it, do something, and you can roll, and I'll tell you what happens.
Okay. Can I think I shoot it, but I'm my weapon's broken and it's missing a piece, like we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Seeing that my memory's still foggy.
Yeah. You pull out
What?
a gun.
What?
And
What the?
try to shoot this and realize that the top part of the gun is not in there. And everyone else
I got this, mates.
have never seen a gun.
Show turns around and is like, "That's the dumbest looking sword I've ever seen," and then he
Oh, this
takes
ain't no
off
sword.
running takes off running at the water at this point, and he's just frustrated.
Show ran towards the water.
Show runs towards the water.
Yeah.
Show, can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Yes, I get an advantage on those, I believe.
This is my constitution.
No, I
saving
get
throw,
on
Delta.
Dex.
Dex and strength when you're raging.
I got a 20 though,
A
not a
20.
natural one.
All right. You disappear.
Nice.
Can I run after her and be like, yo,
Show.
we gotta help her out?
Yep. Everyone who runs
We
through
saw
it-
that, right?
Yeah, if you see, yeah, certainly, yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys can certainly chase Show. He has disappeared. That's what you know.
Well,
And I'd be like,
Darnell's gonna chase down Show because I want part of the action too.
Yeah. All right. Then you chase it down. I need a Constitution saving throw. Anybody who runs into the water, I'll just tell you, will need a Constitution saving throw.
I'm just gonna look at Tydox and then Raidman, and I'll be like, crap. We have to
Wait.
save them. And then-
Before we do this, I pull out the rope and I was like, "Here, at least hold on to it or tie it or something, so we don't get split up again." And I'm just like, "Take
Good
it,
idea. You can pull us out if the current sweeps us.
pull you
Me and
out."
Show in the
I-
same dimension together or something like that. Can we see each other at this point?
Did you roll a Constitution saving throw?
What do I do that?
So it's
on the-
up-
It's a
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
D20
Go ahead,
and you
Maddie.
have +3. If you look at your
I just rolled.
character sheet, you'll see skills, you'll see saving throws. I mean, everything that you need in your character sheet will be right there. So,
Okay, I got a 17.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect.
and then
Blessed.
I would probably, Tydox, that's a good idea. Raymond, do you want to? That way we can pull you back. Do you want to? We'll tie them.
I was about to-
'Cause I don't think anyone's pulling me back.
I thought you're gonna have me hold it.
Terrible idea.
Yeah, you'll hold it.
Darknaw, you as well disappear.
And then,
Alright.
so I guess if you're cool with that, Raymond, we'll tie the rope around you, around your
can-
waist, and then
Launch
Yeah,
in.
sure.
All right.
and then just yank 3 times if you need us to pull you back.
All right. I guess I'll do my Constitution roll then.
Yep.
Was it saving throw?
Yep.
That's the same.
You can choose to fail in case you get a nat 20 or something ridiculous.
11.
Never mind. Not an
Pretty
issue.
low. Not an issue for Randman.
Raymond, you disappear as well. Raymond, I will roll after everyone's done, but you did take damage.
Oh, boy.
Oh no!
Oh, I don't have a lot of hit points left.
By
I
the
No,
just
way,
you
remembered.
don't.
is my 17 roll is 17 plus 3 with my Constitution,
Yeah, you're
right?
good.
So that's technically 20. Okay.
Yeah.
I even looked at
I
my
have-
character sheet last night.
I have the number. So,
And so I'm holding onto the end of the rope
Oh.
for Raymond, so I don't know.
as soon as Randman jumps through the thing, he disappears, and also half of the rope disappears, and immediately
What? And it
cuts
just,
off.
oh!
So you immediately watch as the rope fails.
And then
Oh,
at that point, I'd be
shit.
like, damn.
Well,
I'd probably unsheath my sword, cause and I'd
Yeah.
jump in. I have no idea.
You unsheath your
Tidocks.
sword and jump in. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna unsheath. I'm gonna dual wield my sword, my Drider longsword,
dual hand,
and then dual
like
hand
two
my-
hand it.
Yeah, two-handed.
As he's
That'd be cool, but-
running, I fucking right. He just splits it in two. That's fucking awesome. I should like Iron Man mask sheep down and run after him. And before he jumps in, I try to grab his tail.
Oh yeah,
So that we go together. I'm like,
Wait, oh, that'd be. You could hop on my back. How about I unsheath my sword and you immediately hop on. We're going
in
in
the-
deep.
I'm in the suit now. So yeah.
No,
I
you
can't-
gotta do opposing strength throws to
Wait,
see if
Wait,
If
I
Tidocks
thought the
gets
sword was
dragged
fake.
in
I
or-
thought your
or-
sword was
or-
sand.
I pull him out. Yeah.
No, his he
Wait.
does have his regular sword. The other sword that he was talking about is gone.
Yeah. We now have our normal equipment.
Yeah.
Man.
I forgot
rolled
to
a
add
19,
equipment
though.
to your Stark Note, but I will. Don't worry. If it comes to it, we'll.
Okay.
We so far don't need it,
Right.
but I will.
We going in together.
Yep, we're going in together.
Both of you guys roll
Uh-oh.
a Constitution saving throw.
Saving throw.
Tidocks,
Oh fuck yeah.
you get
Yes.
to roll with advantage.
Ooh. Well, let's see. How much better could it be? It's not better. I got that nat 1 out of the way. Yeah, I've got a 14.
Okay. And Ert, what was yours?
I rolled 19. Oh,
Damn.
16 plus 3.
All right.
Nice.
So, Ranman and Tidocks both failed.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I got 10 HP.
3d6 of damage.
Oh!
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna.
That's a lot
roll
more than
this
I was expecting.
for everyone to see. I didn't see what your health was beforehand. I am so sorry.
I even checked last night and I forgot that I'm so low.
I'm gonna roll this, and we'll see what happens, and then I'll explain everything in a moment.
Everyone lands and there's just a pile of bones there too.
10.
10.
Everyone who
Meets it.
passed takes 5 damage. Everyone who failed, unfortunately, takes 10 damage. Tidocks, because
10
you're
what?
in-
Damage.
this is acidic damage. Okay.
Ooh.
In your metal armor, it begins to corrode.
Can how do you feel about a reaction being used to cast absorb elements?
Unfortunately, you can't use a reaction because of the status of this, but I do like that idea.
Damn it!
Because it's a saving throw,
Yeah.
you can't. It would have been.
It was a long shot.
You unfortunately can't react to this.
To a
damage.
saving throw.
We don't have a healer.
Oh!
I just realized that.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
healer has disappeared.
Goes
We have-
There's
down.
All I
One.
need.
Okay.
We have one.
oh boy.
So let
I have a
me-
couple heal spells, but it's not gonna save the group.
Let me
Especially since I can't
describe.
hit shit.
Let me describe what happens. Okay.
There's just gonna be a pile of bones that lands down.
Pile of beats. Like 3 beats.
Okay, hold on.
Mm,
Oh, I gotta take 10 damage.
Give me. Oh, just.
I'm sure I'll be
we're gonna-
fine.
All right, what we're gonna
You'll
do?
be fine.
We're gonna take a 5-minute break. Okay. So everybody come back in 5 minutes because I was not hoping you. I didn't know I was gonna kill you. Now I have to. All right, 5 minutes and we'll be back. Okay.
Oh,
right.
God.
I'll start working on a new
Next
character.
time.
I can heal him. I'm a healer. I can heal you. I can fix her.
I think the problem is where we're going to come out. And in
I'm
what
sure
We're
you
in
guys
the
state.
tummy.
Oh, it's like Moby Dick.
We're in the tummy. It's tummy acid.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm gonna go get some strawberries while we're taking our.
If it's a. If,
I'm sorry, I
oh,
didn't realize you were such low health, Raymond. I was
Nice.
at 41, so I thought we were
I like
all like
that.
fine.
Sexy.
Something
41.
happened last session, and
Yeah, I'm at
we didn't
41
get to
though.
rest
Yeah.
after
I
last.
don't know.
I also
Am
I at
didn't
40?
think that
Am I
I
at
would like
35 now?
disappear
Is that it?
into.
Yeah, you would go down
Yeah.
to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, he took 5. Just
When he said that, it was like pixels. I thought it was like, oh, well, each one must be like an individual monster. Was what I was thinking.
Yeah, which is
Nah.
what perfect. I was gonna thunderwave that shit, and she was
But
like,
I was like, I'm just
"No,
gonna
no,
go punch.
I'll bet you I can punch at least 3 of them in the face if they have faces." I'm gonna get another coffee.
I'm gonna get.
Really like, I can
No, I
punch
haven't-
you in the stomach now.
I still haven't drank that energy, Monster Energy. We're gonna.
Get
If
that
we are
monster
in-
energy.
Okay, so if we're in the stomach and any type of damage over time effect occurs, he has to do saving throws, and every time he gets hit, he's gonna fail 2 saving throws out of 3. See what I'm saying?
Because he's taking damage.
Yeah, because if we're in stomach acid and he is downed, it's a dot damage. So
I can
he's
pick him up.
hooked. But we gotta be there also. Like we gotta also be there immediately. That might be a problem if Maddie's like, I'm gonna scatter you fucks again, and you are now you're all drowning. I don't know. You can't swim if you're fucking. You can't. I need coffee.
He's like, what
Maybe
the
some
fuck
shots.
have you done? I like to just see him pantomiming right now. I can't hear anything, but just the frustration of the.
I'm beating myself
I hope it's-
'cause- oh my god.
I hope it's about
Things are
football.
gonna die.
I don't know.
Cheeky
At least
thing
Radman.
coming up right here.
Do I see show it through any of this scene that I disappeared with them?
I'll describe what happens. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll come up.
It'll all
He'll
make
make the
sense
scene.
when everything comes out. Dude, I literally, this is all pre-planned, right? This is all stuff that is pre-planned. It's not me like on the spot, just like, hey, and I'm like, all right, this is what happened, blah blah blah. You know, I'm like, it's 3d6. The saving
like-
throw to beat was 15. You know.
Can Zorf just like be like well rested and be like healed so then we just avoid all this?
This is the unfortunate part of D&D, my friend.
No takesy backsies.
No takesies backsies. I didn't know that he was so low health. I'll be honest. So I feel kind of bad that he's at low health.
I did not think he was at low health either because we only had one combat the last time, right? He just got fucked up in that one combat.
Yeah.
Such is life, fellas.
I'm just looking at my notes as I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, fuck.
Hey, saving throw. Can I like have dropped something from my pouch that could help him, like my last like potion or some shit?
Unfortunately, you cannot. It's the same deal with Tylox asking about a reaction.
Oh. Yeah, one last beat. Or he's just dead.
I'm like pacing, dude. My heart's pumping. Ah! Oh.
Maddie calls an emergency meeting in the Thursday group to say, Joel, Zach, I need some help. I fucked up. I fucked up hard. And this is why we're having a shorter session tonight at just 3 hours, because that's all it took to kill all of you.
It's always the acid.
Whenever it gets back, I will set the scene back up. We'll talk about it. We'll talk. We'll share everything that has happened.
Oh my Atlanta.
The consequences of said actions.
Said.
You know, like, I felt like I just like, oh my god, you just killed Kimmy. That's how I feel.
You bastard!
Oh yeah, I love tortillas.
Unless you're Ert. You.
All right, is everyone back and ready?
I don't know if I'm about ready, but
It
shit.
wasn't rain.
Okay. So you guys have jumped through the ocean. You awaken them to the other side in the order: Sho, Darkgnaw, Ranman, Ert, and Tydox. Okay. So Sho, you come out first, and you land in a pile of bones. Okay. You are surrounded by bones. Everything around you is corpses. The undead, or not, but the smell of death reeks your nostrils. You see thousands, if not more, bones in this place as you land somewhat peacefully into it. You hear a whoosh, and Darkgnaw falls on top of you, again in a pile of bones. Darkgnaw,
In a superhero landing.
what you see in this pile of bones is the missing gun, missing piece.
This
of
is where I
gun.
see my compatriots.
You do see them.
Okay.
Then you see Captain Ert, who has come out, and half the rope that has now appeared, and you now have seen Tydox.
And a fresh corpse.
And finally, you four land in this pile, noticing that Raven is not there. You notice that Bubba is not there. And Captain Ert, and I'm crying, I'm sorry, Captain Ert and Tydox, you remember Ranman, who has jumped before you. Unfortunately, you do not see anything, but as you begin to feel it deep inside your soul, your heart, you start to notice that some of these bones are warmer. You see steam has engulfed some of these. You see the other half of the rope tied to these bones. Ranman, unfortunately, you have died. The effects of this happenstance, with this acidity and with what has happened, unfortunately, when it comes to death saves, normally in D&D you would get, when you fall below 0, death saves, but if it's in the notes,
Yeah, I was expecting to just be downed.
if
Dang.
this thing kills or downs you, if you're downed within this, because of the continual burning effect of this, you automatically die. And so, Ranman, unfortunately, you have died. Raymond, let's take some time and talk about
The life of Ranman.
your life look like. Raymond, you had, I'm sorry, I'm so... This is not what I wanted.
We should have for chaos in this party.
This is not what I want. Not what I was expecting.
I'm so sorry, man.
Am I free willingly like noticing like all my dead compatriots and I'm like talking to myself like holy shit like this was fucking Jimmy I fought with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have noticed the bodies of your compatriots as well. Ranman, your life has been... I'll let you talk for a sec. Let's describe... Let's hear
Ranman,
your life.
Ranman was a brave boy. He was a little turnip farmer. Didn't want no trouble.
Definitely not a fighter.
Look, Ranman did the best they could. And you know what? If it ends in a acid puddle in the middle of a lake, in the middle of a town, far away from his home, it will be missed. He will be missed, especially by those near him. Near and dear to him. And he hopes that he was near and dear to them too.
Ranman, don't make me cry.
You now have come to the realization that Ranman, the sweet fucking Ranman, dude, of everybody that could have been Ranman, my favorite, has now died. And you have now realized that your friend, your adventurer, the ambiguously gay dwarf that you have had.
Could pull down some tail. Let me tell you what. Every
Ranman hopes
fucking night.
he left his mark on the world.
He has.
He left his seed in the world for sure.
Like so many people left their mark on him.
He certainly has made a huge difference. Ranman, I love you, man. We will talk about
man.
what happens next. But certainly don't feel like you have to leave.
I'll just leave the call now.
Yeah, that's not how this works. I thought about that.
As everybody else is like crying over Raymond, I'm just gonna start searching his pockets.
There are no pockets, it's just bones.
Show us
he is a
my
good
Ranman.
You, I don't think you can.
If you honestly though try to do that, show is at Ranman's body and he's shaking as he sees. I imagine like the gold eye is still like attached to his skull, essentially. And if Darknell comes close, Show is just gonna fucking punch him square in the jaw.
You're gonna get
Like, just
blasted
be like, you don't fucking know him.
by a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm still doing it.
It's still
But
Realizing what happened, would probably. Does he happen to have like a necklace or charm, something to remember him by? That
Definitely his eye.
His eye, for sure.
his
Was it
eye
our
is still there. I will tell you that.
I don't think that. I think we still have that bag of holding. I think what Show would like to do would be to take out like a blanket or something and like delicately put Ranman into it and wrap him up and put him in the back of the lake. Sorry.
No, I think I'm fucking crying. I'm crying so hard right now.
Oh.
As she does
I
that,
didn't
I'm
know,
like,
I didn't know that you guys were so low. I'm so sorry.
I
You
think
didn't get to heal from last session.
well, as they're all mourning and everything, and I'm like piecing all my shit together. Can I do like just a shot off? Just like get everybody's attention back to like the situation at hand.
As you put your gun back together, yes, you can fire in the air.
In the void.
Yeah.
So, as y'all are doing your little mini funeral over there, I'll piece my gun back together, freaking.
I thought he fucking test popped in
No
his
problem.
house. I was like, no, Delta, it is not that serious.
I think all of us would probably freak out at the sound of a gunshot. I don't think any of us have heard, like,
Probably aim
we
my
would.
sword right at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard a gunshot, so I would immediately turn and.
Y'all just hear the fucking.
Yeah, you guys hear the sound of a gun, and everyone, can you? It's loud. I mean, you're in a fucking tight little space, pretty much.
You guys get the.
Can everyone roll me? I'll roll a d4. I don't want to fucking kill anybody else.
So we're just rolling a d4, right?
I rolled it for. So you guys take 3 points of, basically ear-piercing damage. It's like force concussive, because you hear a firing of a gun in a tight little space, and you certainly have the attention of Darkgnaw.
How tall is Darkgnaw?
Roughly,
About to
probably
suplex
like
this man.
6 foot.
And then after hearing that, I would probably, because Ert's probably pissed right now, because he just witnessed that one of his party members has unfortunately just passed, and I see this guy over here, and I'd be like, "You idiot! What is wrong with you?" And I'd reach, and I'd basically go straight over to Darkgnaw and be like, "We just lost someone. Stand down, or I will hurt you."
Hey, mate, I just need to make sure this thing still works. These are my compatriots standing on their bones. So I've lost mates too. I was just drinking with these guys. But you don't see me crying about it. We gotta move on. Look where we're at. Only thing we can do now is move on and live in his memory and figure this out and hold him a proper funeral for my mates and your mates once we get out of this.
Then doing whatever it is you just did is not the proper way to do it. We will keep moving forward, but give these people a moment of silence. You and I.
Can I roll an intimidation against Captain Urk?
You're gonna fail.
So
I don't like his tone.
Player to player stuff is a lot more difficult. You can certainly roll an intimidation, and then, but yeah, player to player stuff is tough. You need to describe what you would do to try to intimidate him as well.
Well, alright, so do I roll first or do I describe first?
Go ahead and roll.
Alright, is that D20?
Yeah, it's literally in your skills. You just click intimidation.
Yeah, just click it.
Oh,
Be like,
so like... Skill. There you go.
Yeah, you just click it.
I rolled a 19.
So 19.
Bert's rolled 14 intimidation checks. Why are you rolling so many?
No, I don't know, because I'm gonna use this one. I was just rolling him to show.
So
I rolled 19 plus 3, right?
Is that what it is? 19 plus 3?
Intimidation. So it's a 24.
19.
Don't fuck this
would
up.
you roll?
What?
I mean, are you like trying to counter intimidate him? Are you?
I wasn't trying to intimidate him. I just I don't want him to stand down.
I would say.
I just want you to back off and like I want to intimidate you to the point where like I want you to realize like, look, I understand we lost people, but we're gonna be dead too if we stay here longer.
I think
And
with his role, I will say I think you have like you recognize that that this is not a safe place to be.
Grieving.
To grieve the loss of a valued team member, as sad and horrible it is, there's also other people here that are dead as well.
Yeah, because to me, like, my people just died in front of me too, for all I know.
Yeah. And so after realizing that, I think Captain Herb would be like, I understand. We'll move. Just one moment. And then after that, kind of turn away and towards our party.
I think that in that time, though, that you two were, displaying all that machismo, Show would have probably gone with Tydox and kind of ushered Tydox over, and they would be like moving Randman's body and then putting him in the bag of holdings and like getting adjusted. And then I think both of them are talking like about just like, okay, like what are we doing and how are we getting out of here now, kind of in that. And Show took 4 points of damage from the shot going off, so Show's ears are just like ringing, and he's trying to, like, as he's stuffing basically this bag of stuff into that bag of holding that we have. But I think he's just like, okay, Tydox, I might have screwed up here. What are we gonna do?
I don't. Tydox feels like he lost another brother, and it was probably his fault. So Tydox isn't gonna say a whole lot of stuff right now.
I think then he's just gonna. Show will just pick up then the bag and then, start looking around, I guess.
After our bravado match, I would obviously, because he's I don't know if he's a soldier or not, but it seems like it, or a mercenary with Brethren. I would understand where he's coming from, but obviously since we kind of relate to some degree, and I would basically just like kind of turn away from him, and then I'd go back to my party with Show, and I'd be like, "Look, guys, we have to get him."
I would just kind of like. I feel like I would notice how Tydoc is feeling and just kind of like relate to him in that aspect, kind of like pat him on the back and like, look, man, like I understand you're hurting, but we got to get going.
And then after grabbing,
yeah, because like, is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like, listen, little brother, we gotta go. Like, I understand you're grieving, but we gotta move on before we share the same fate.
You guys begin to see these bones begin to fall. You realize that you're in a massive pile of bones. On the if someone wants to roll a perception or investigation, I'll give you more information. But as right now, you begin to feel that the bones are very unstable. Everybody can, so certainly roll, and I'll give you different information if you roll investigation or perception. Okay. But at this point,
everyone except for me.
I'm sorry.
Too soon.
It's too soon.
Trauma. Scorpius is taking this better than all the rest of us combined. He's like searching his new character. He's like, who am I gonna be?
Just reading through some stuff.
The donkey looks like he's available.
Yeah, the donkey will join.
On my, this is pretty fitting, but on the investigation check, I got a nat 1, so I don't think Tydox is seeing fucking anything right now.
I double clicked, but I got a 12.
We're fucking wrecked.
I got a 12.
Dark Gnaw.
The trauma.
What did Urt roll?
I got a 3 normal, so I think that's also fitting.
Dark Gnaw, you're the only one that really has any sense of. You've seen people die before, and you're a little more callous to the fact that there's death around. You're a little more headstrong in the face of death, and so you notice that on the other side you see a light. You see what looks to be a way out. It's about 60 to 80 feet from you guys, and it looks to be high up. But you see what appears to be a way out.
Okay. this is just me thinking here. So as I point this out, can I roll a charisma to try and inspire them to like, look, I understand we can grieve later. Like, let's push forward, or is this just straight like?
Certainly. Roll a
Make an inspiring leader check.
I know. I could.
that would be fucking nice if somebody had that. But
Never done
that's-
that before in my life.
Notice.
That's the charisma, big dog.
let's do a persuasion. And then I want to hear an inspiring speech.
Oh.
Based on your roll.
Okay. So what is that? D20, D4, D6, D8.
They're all D20s unless
D20.
otherwise noted.
Yeah, when you
Okay.
make a
Rolling a
check.
D20. I rolled an 18.
All right. So
Plus
pretty-
probably something because he's
Plus-
got charisma.
18 plus, yeah, it's a lot. Plus 5. So,
Yeah, it's 25. Wait, I'm sorry.
23.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So pretty
Vulnerable right
inspiring
now.
speech.
So I'm good to go. I can
Yeah.
I can free roll now.
Mhm.
All right. Listen, everyone. I know we have death, but we're gonna share the same fate. What we need to do is we need to move towards that light right there. Once we push through, we'll be able to mourn our losses. This is not the first time you'll see death. I've been in countless of battles and I've seen death throughout the lifetime. But the only thing we can do now is live on in their memory. And the only way we can do that is if we go there. So I don't know about you all, but I am not willing to die today. So follow me to life.
And I think you guys hear a pretty inspiring speech. I'm not going to tell you guys how to play your characters, but you guys certainly hear a very inspiring speech. You know, it's very persuasive in gathering. I think you guys would come, you know, to your senses a little bit. Obviously, still stricken with grief, but you do hear an inspiring speech.
Shell's just mad. I don't think he's not gonna do it. He said, I think he's marching towards the life, but he's like, it's not the first time I've seen death either, buddy. And it's like he's just marching off. He's like, just because you think I've fought many battles too, but at least I have a soul enough to actually feel compassion for somebody else dying. And he's just more mad and he's getting all kinkered up, you know, and he's just like fucking marching along towards the light. But he's doing what he says, but he's just like, he was inspired, but like inspired to be pissed, I guess, if that makes sense.
Inspired to be
And
petty.
he's like,
Same.
fucking.
I think Tydox now is just, you know, almost hypnotized by the grief. Like you say go, and he has. Did Show take the? You don't have. I have the bag. Well, we have the bag in the bag of holding with
I
Tydox.
packed
Right?
Randman's entire body in a blanket. So
Okay,
the whole
you got
body.
Did you put it in the bag of holding, or you?
Yeah, and I have
Okay,
the bag of
so-
holding, but if you wanted it, I would give it to you.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's inconsequential. Who has Renman's eye? Him? You're
In the bag.
In the bag with it.
Yeah.
Right. Then, yeah, Tydox is just fucking hauling, dash, full movement, everything to that light.
Okay.
He just sprints past everybody, no words, just fucking doom, 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 because he's in his big ass mech. He's just fucking going.
So again, this is a little elevated place, and the terrain that you're in is pretty unstable. It's a mountain of bones, and you're in some sort of like pit. So I'm gonna ask, how do you guys get out of this pit? What things do you have on you? What tricks and ideas? 'Cause you see the escape, but you don't have any way of really getting up. Or,
Can
I mean, you can get up,
Cardinal
but-
ask
No.
like one of them to pass like a rope, and I've used my heavy crossbow to like kind of like I shoot it and it pulls us.
You can ask that, yeah. And Show, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, Shell has rope and he can jump if we wanted to like tie it to Tydox and pull him up.
Well, also, how is it like just super Is it like an incline?
Imagine
like
a square,
or...
a big pit, and that's essentially what you have gathered yourselves into. And the pit is filled with bones, and the pit is about 30, 40 feet deep, and it's about 60 feet from the edge. And the light.
Are you talking about like the Toy Story 4 like dumpster scene where like all like the toys are like that furnace kind of deal?
Essentially, you guys are all in a big square box at the bottom, and you see on the other side you see a light.
I mean, can you like climb towards the light, pretty much?
Yeah, but the it's like a flat surface, you know. Like imagine a classic like pit.
It's literally a box, just with. Okay.
So it's like a 90-degree climb up. You certainly can try to climb it. It's not going to be very easy to do. You can certainly try to jump up there, especially Sho has her boots.
Yeah, with my boots, could I jump or?
Yeah.
Can I help Sho? I don't know if Sho needs it, but I mean, if the ground is unstable, Sho can use me as a jump off.
Certainly, yeah.
Right.
She would have had disadvantage, and then, but because of that, you can now roll.
Well, then I would ask, because I want to Sho, can you jump up there?
She would have had disadvantage. With your help, she will have a flat roll.
Even now. Captain Ash should be able to make it, and I think what Sho does is also he like breaks off 2 rib bones, like to catch, like maybe to try to like catch himself, and maybe he would do like the like the pig thing to get back, like get up, and then Sho has a rope on him, and maybe he can tie something up there.
Yeah, could you roll me an we'll call it an acrobatics, and you can add your proficiency bonus to it, so an extra +2 to your +5 roll.
Okay.
You can shoot this down, but see that I'm still not like fully like accepted into the group. Can I like use my athletics to get all the way to the top and like throw down a rope to everybody, try to like yank them back up to make it faster?
So typically, I'll give you what to roll. When you ask, you just say, "Hey, like this is what I think I would do in this situation," and then I'll either give you something to roll or say like yes or no. Instead of being like, "Oh, hey, can I roll athletics to do this?" or "Hey, can I roll charisma?" It's like, "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" And then we can certainly see if it's possible. Do you want to shoot the rope? Is what you want to do, or shoot your way up?
Yeah, that's what I want to. Like, I wanted to grab the rope from somebody who has her like that half rope, and then like use that to like try to like, all right, let me try to drag somebody up with me.
Yeah, you can grab the rope for yourself as well. And you're like, well, if these guys aren't going to do it, and then I'll just grab because the rope is certainly there still, that was wrapped around Randman. So to use that rope, you can go ahead and roll me. I didn't put it on your character sheet, but just roll a d20, and I'll look at someone else's for a crossbow.
I rolled a 24 total also.
Yeah. So with your 24, you leap up into the air, and you get to the very top, and you stab the rib bones in. You slip a little bit, but you're able to hold on and climb the rest of the way up. So you are now
I rolled
at the
a 20.
very top. And then when you get to the top, you hear behind you a crossbow hit. It doesn't hit you in the head or hit you close, but it's very close. You hear it whoosh past you. You're still a little foggy from the gunshot, but you do then feel the rope next to you as well. So now you have what essentially amounts to 2 different ropes. One that's tied to you and one that's near you. To help people climb up.
Cool.
And
Come on, guys! I made it up here. Come on.
I want to. And Maury, am I at the top now, like trying to help people
Well,
rope
you
up?
shot
or,
the
like, what do we
crossbow,
do?
so then you can now start to climb it if you want to help.
Okay.
people. Yeah.
All right, so I shot the crossbow. I climbed up. Shonen said her piece.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. Here, I made another rope. Everybody, you grab what you can to make it up.
Tydox, they're probably gonna need all the help to lift me up. You should probably go next.
Do we have to roll stuff to go up the rope?
Nope. You guys, both of you guys would be good to climb up the rope.
I'd probably just in case I would have Tydox make sure he gets all the way up if he goes.
I went. I'm gonna go up, Dark Nill's side, and then I am taking back that rope.
Okay.
And then since now that there's 2, I'm probably Captain Erd's gonna try.
There's not 2 anymore. There's.
Oh,
one.
you grabbed the rope. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will be grabbing onto that rope and trying to climb up that single rope.
Can I like smack Tydoc's hand so like he's like, no,
You can try.
He needs it, fool.
You can certainly try.
Certainly try. So he tries to slap your hands, Tydox. You.
That is.
You know.
I don't think Captain Erd cares that much. He's just gonna grab the one
Just
rope
grab it,
anyways
yeah.
and just keep trying. Yeah. He's like, whatever you
care.
quarrel are doing, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna keep climbing.
Perfect. So.
Do I make it? Is it?
Yeah,
Or
you
I don't
make
know
it.
if it's.
Yeah, you don't need to roll anything. Roll.
Okay, cool. That's what I was worried about.
So you guys have climbed up there with the remains of Ranmin. And you get to the top, and you have now been welcomed into the fortress of Mimir, the lost temple of Mimir. On the other side, if you were to look back, you can see the exit is across a vast expanse, as if the beginning of the temple is this pit. For whatever reason, you guys had entered into a new plane, some sort of magic spell. But if you have looked back, you can see the same statue that you saw before on the other side. You don't see that dark cloud despite your dark vision. You begin to hear the whirring, the gears shifting. You begin to hear this place light up. Remember, you guys had turned this place on before getting into the temple. On the same side as the light, you see a statue of a very prominent dwarven man riding a dragon turtle into battle. You see him holding a shield and a giant hammer.
After seeing like all of my comrades like dead and like me getting the piece that I gave one of my compatriots as like good luck and putting it all back together, does that start to jog my memory and like make me start to ask like, when the fuck am I kind of deal?
Yeah, certainly. You would have realized that the bones of your compatriots were significantly older than Ranman's bones. I mean, for obvious reasons, but even more so, they were a lot older.
Do I have to do anything special to like start asking questions of like what time period I'm in kind of deal?
No, you can certainly ask the
You
group
just
what
role
they
play with us.
Yeah.
All right. Look, this all doesn't make sense after we're standing here. We made it out, but those compatriots, they looked more dead than your friend. And I was just drinking with them. What time? What's the date?
It's 1267. What has been this whole year? This whole godforsaken year.
I don't think you're right. It's 1262.
No, it's 1267.
1267. What do you know what's happened in 1262 to now?
Well, we were out of war then. I think we've been out of war now. I don't think much has changed. Mycelium still hates our guts. Groggenheim still hates our guts. It's the same old shit.
So, what of Yosef?
Joseph, that bag of bones is the one who gave us this adventure. He must have thought you were dead. Then, if you're from 1262, that's why he's probably sending everybody on this fool's errand.
Huh. I've been thinking it's still 1262. I thought I was only drinking mead and celebrating the slaying of the great beast for a few days.
I think Sho like kind of looks at him like Darnell pretty meanly, and he's like, "You must have been drinking a lot of sand, then, boy." And I think he just like starts to walk off.
Darnell's just in shock, like realizing that he's missed 5 years of his goddamn life.
Yeah. Very, very fair, you know. As you walk into the fortress, again, the big thing you see is a gigantic dwarven statue. In the middle, you see a inscription on it, and you see what amounts to a massive fucking room, like a opening of a room. You see it expands far beyond your vision. It makes no logical sense for the room that you saw before coming in here of how big this space is in here. If you were to think, logically of, okay, how can this space fit in here?
It's the TARDIS.
You see the most amazing, immaculate drawings, statues. I mean, like robotics. Everything seems to be on gears, and I don't know how much you would really know about robotics or engineering, but to you,
It would probably all seem like magic to Show, like basically,
right.
like
It's even more so. You're in such disbelief as you look around and see things begin to move around and around and around and around. But the big thing that you see is this statue in the middle, with like a lectern type thing in front of it.
Is my ball glowing?
Yep, it is glowing very much.
What were you gonna say, Sho?
I think Sho just stops. And I think he's like, he has his bag of stuff, and I think he just drops it on the ground, and I think he just is looking at the room, and I think he's just realizing, like, here's this other, insurmountable thing that we have to do. Like, we just dealt with some magic bullshit. We gotta deal with some more magic bullshit, everybody. And I think he's just starting to throw kind of a fit. But this time, I think he has this bit of, trepidation, and he's not gonna, just rush into it this time. So he's just kind of now staring out at this, like, room as, like, hard as he can, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, what was this room filled with? Do we know? Like, do we like observe
He
the room?
said there's like magic, like there's things twirling around, like with gears, and then there's like this large statue with a lectern, kind of like. So like, I'm not sure what Darknell has been familiar with, but like to Show, all of that would be like, this is crazy ass shit. Like, so he's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, because seeing that I'm from like 1262, like do I recognize any of this stuff? Like, can I explain anything, or like can I like use like deductive reasoning? History check.
Yeah.
What is it? Where's that one? Is that just D20?
It's in
right?
skills as well.
I don't see history.
It's like the 7th one or 6th one down.
Yeah, it's below deception.
Oh, I see it. I wrote an 18.
Okay, an 18. So you wouldn't necessarily know of this engineer. This engineer, your history shows, this is very ancient dwarven technology. Your history check would certainly show you that, like, again, this is far beyond anything that you would really understand, but it is very ancient dwarven technology. It looks very old in the sense of
I've seen in a book somewhere.
maybe in a book or something, but for whatever reason, it looks very futuristic as well. So it's a very jarring sense of I've probably read about engineering like this, but there's no way, especially being where you're from, you're like, there's no fucking way that Groggenheim can be this advanced in technology because of where you're from and the engineering that is placed where you're at, you know. So it's
Can Darknell make the statement of like I've seen this kind of mechanisms in books in Andriel, but this is Groggenheim tech.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, that makes sense with the big dwarf statue in the middle of the room. I don't think Sho knows that, Captain. Well, I guess I can play it this way. Well, Captain, aren't you some sort of traitor? What do you make of all this?
Fucking idiot. I'm an idiot.
Killed.
I rolled. I just was rolling a D10, wondering, man, I've gotten some shit rolls on this D20. Yeah, no shit.
What are you trying to roll for, Tydox? Or are you just rolling?
When they were finishing up, I was gonna roll an investigation.
Okay.
Well, I would say I don't know how much Captain Earl about all this stuff because he was basically only there doing bar. He was as a barkeep, but I guess I'll ask how much of this stuff do I know?
Very similar to what it's very ancient dwarven
that's what I
stuff,
figured.
but for whatever reason, it looks very futuristically. It looks well beyond the years of the world, yet it's ancient.
Then I would probably look at Sho and this is from Groggenheim, but this is nothing that I've ever seen. Tydox may be a little bit more familiar with some of this stuff, but I'm a warrior and a brute. This is my expertise.
Of course it is.
So Tydox would have been spending this time not necessarily listening, but trying to figure out what was going on with all the magic and cogs and things that he hasn't quite seen, because it seems like it's familiar in a sense because he is a big historian. He's been around for a hot minute, but also, like you said, a touch of difference in the sense of this is more advanced. They've gone about different things, so I can roll anything really.
What do you want to roll? You can do investigation. I can give you some other information. If you want to roll history again, I'll give you history with advantage. But
I'm pretty skilled in if it's magical, like the Arcana, history, because
whatever you roll, tell me what you roll, and I'll give you information based off what you roll.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna do more so an investigation to see if I can figure out what it's for, not necessarily like who made it, where it came from, but investigate what it is, why it is, and how we could use it. Okay. You know, this area of things. So 17
I was like, what am I about to say? It's gonna fucking suck. But then I saw that.
Oh god!
I saw that there's one person that it might be okay for, but
so
a 17 and
22. I'm sorry. 22. Sorry, okay. I have a 7 plus. Yeah.
So while you're investigating, what you see are this like blue hem around the place that begins to like a circuit. You're very intellectual, engineering. You know how like circuitries kind of work. Again, that's kind of way advanced for this time period, but you see it's as if this circuit is going in a clockwork time that is going at basically 1 second apiece, as if you're in a big clock. You start to begin to hear the. And then you look up and you see a pulsating, what appears to be a heartbeat. You begin to see it pulse in a blue hue. You see near that is a pendulum that is glowing back and forth. With a 22 investigation, you see all around you is very ancient dwarvish. Symbols, signs, dwarven language. You don't speak dwarf, so you don't really understand dwarvish, but you see that you can recognize that it is dwarvish.
I can read dwarvish.
You see a lot of stuff that leads into this statue being the kind of focal point in the middle of the room. Of the middle of what you now have seen is a clock of some sorts.
So I'm gonna go up to this statue and look more closely at it to see where the circuitry like connects that blue light, and to see what we can do with that. I don't really say anything. I just kind of walk over and start investigating.
You see that the statue is the source of the circuitry. It pulsates from the statue. And you see the lectern in front of it as well that has some sort of message of instruction, but it's in dwarf.
Then from what I can tell, this is where we need to be with the instructions written here. If anyone knows or can interpret old dwarf, we're in some type of clock mechanism that keeps time. I'm not quite sure on the mechanisms that are at play.
I can take a look at it. I know how to read a little bit of dwarf. And then
Be
after
my
that,
guest.
we'll probably walk towards the whatever mechanism that Tydox is looking at and see if he can read the.
Captain, can you roll me a history check as well with advantage?
Yes. 9, 16, and 19 was my
19.
advantage.
Perfect. So, you speak dwarf. This is a weird dialect. It is very ancient. From what you can tell, this is about 800 years old. It is so it's really hard to read, to be honest. You recognize it being though like very, very, very old. As you're reading it, you hear almost a voice come into your thoughts in your brains that basically says, "Here lies the great warrior Mimir, the greatest warrior to ever live off his, who would fight on his dragon turtle. Those of you who seek the ancient treasure must complete 3 trials: wisdom, courage, and power. Only then will you be strong enough to take what is yours. But I warn you, this place is dangerous. Good luck, and try not to die."
Did this
Sorry,
Captain
what was
Kirk like read that out
wisdom?
loud to us?
It is wisdom.
That's his choice.
It is his choice. Wisdom, courage, and power are the 3 trials, and to complete them, you must complete them to gain access to the treasure.
So just off of obviously since it's and I'm trying to. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Since I'm trying to decipher this old language, I'm probably trying to read it out loud, and then probably the group is picking up the bits and pieces of it,
Mhm.
so they could probably understand a majority of what I'm saying.
Yeah. And there's
So I am reading
definitely
it out loud.
there's also more to it that you don't
Uh-huh.
understand.
Yeah. So I
Does
think the
that
group was
jog my memory at all, or like give me insight to like why the fuck?
Yes. Dark Null, for you, you hear these words and you remember that you were here or that you came to this spot because there was a magical occurrence, that a strong level of magic had found its way into the lake and you were investigating it, and that is why you were here. That's why you found this temple, seeking that same magic, and it occurs to you that that magic weapon that they're talking about is probably the same thing that you needed, the MacGuffin of sorts.
Wait, everyone. I think I'm starting to remember. This is why I was sent here. I came to seek a great weapon of magic, of sorts.
Then what Sho said is probably true. You were in a group that Yusuf sent, and unfortunately you lost your party. Now you're on the same mission as us, to find whatever happened and to find these artifacts.
The question is, how do we find it?
Same old. Oh, don't worry. Captain Earth's orb will sniff it out there for you.
Captain Earth pulls out his orb.
Where
Wish I had that thing.
Around.
The orb has only continued to pulsate.
Is there any direction we can look to follow, to like a door somewhere or some circuits we
All we
can
know is that
lead to?
yeah.
To find the trials,
Yeah.
you see that you're in the middle of a giant chasm. And you see that the room looks endless from the look of it. There is a few different locations that could bode useful, but you don't really, there's no like sense of direction. It's just kind of like, I'm in this giant room, there's like a giant chasm, there's like some places that I could go look, but I'd have to figure out how to traverse the giant chasm to really like do it, or maybe jump through the chasm, or of sorts of like that. That's like, there's not really a ton of like, it's meant to be ambiguously vague of like, you see a gigantic room, but there's also kind of a few different places to go. You could roll. Well, you got a 22 investigation. I will tell you that on the lectern, you notice that there's a few stones that seemingly stand out a little bit, and it looks weird. Kind of looks weird for you that they're raised up spots.
Seeing as he's doing that, and my memory's starting to be like jogged up, can I like start searching myself to see if I have anything that like I've solved before I lost my memory?
The big thing that you notice grabbing into your, notebooks as you continue to start searching for all of this stuff, you see a notebook that you've had that has some of the notes that you've had before on the adventure. You wrote down like, I noticed that big adventures, or that big monsters appear near these magical occurrences. I've noticed that it seems as though these magic artifacts have been spread out for a reason, but I don't know why. And the next thing that you notice is that you said the two that I have located so far was one to a tower east on a lone island that you would know as Heaven's Ascent. The other is deep in a desert that is hidden in the king's tomb. I assume that the Pirate King would know of some other ones because he loves treasure.
Okay, and for those monsters that are guarding these did I kill one of those monsters and that's what I was originally celebrating?
So what you were celebrating is a memory that was implanted into your brain as being a big hero. So you would start to realize that, that wasn't an actual memory. It was a euphoric sense of like, oh, hey, I'm here, and this is like it's like a dream, essentially. Like,
okay.
Oh, this is like...
It's like being high.
Yeah, exactly. And you're, in the best place for you is feeling part of like a group and, all this stuff. And so you're in that like moment of like celebratory, like, oh, and then you have now come to realize that that was not a real memory, or it was an implanted memory of things. So you don't.
Do I share my findings in this notebook with Tydox because I noticed that he's like figuring things out because Captain Urt is just a freaking brute.
You certainly can do whatever you desire.
So true.
Tydox, in my prior investigations, I took notes. I wrote down here, it says that strange monsters, great monsters appeared near magic occurrences, and these artifacts were spread around for a reason.
That could be helpful. Maybe as we get closer to the different artifacts with the ones we have, we'll happen upon more powerful monsters, so we need to be careful not to fall into more traps. And he, looks at the bag of holding because he's, but I think Tydox is gonna tinker with the lectern and try to press, bop it, those raised buttons. Preferably the one, I don't know what arrangement they're in, but if there's one that's on the right, he would do that one first.
Okay.
If they're in like a triangle, he would do one first, or if they're...
So it's in a circle, I'll tell you that. Okay?
How many?
And there's 3 buttons of raised descent. And so they're... one is like, it's a circle, okay? And I probably shouldn't have drew this out, I'm sorry. But you basically have 3 raised situations. One's like in the middle-ish, one's a little bit outside of that, and then the third one's outside of that.
Oh. So the buttons form a circle, but you have cylindrical pieces that encompass around each other.
Is in a circle. So it's a square, and then it's a circle. And there's 3 buttons that basically, one is in the middle, one is a little bit outside of it, and one's a little bit outside that. It's like 3 inner rings.
Right. So I would touch the outermost ring first, and we would push that one. It's a push, or if it's a spin, I would try to figure out what it is.
So you spin the outer one, and you notice the bottom layer of the temple begins to spin.
Okay. Do we feel that movement?
Oh yeah.
Because what level are we on?
You guys are on the bottom. We're
on the bottom. Okay. So
the outermost one begins to move. You guys feel the earth shake amongst you, so much so that it feels like the earth is quaking. As you twist it, the bottom of the temple that is the same face that you guys are at rotates. You then see water begins to pour out, and then just as you continue to spin it, it closes out.
So we have water in ours that was pouring out or
It
pouring
poured
in?
out for a second to
Okay.
pour out into that chasm, and then it stopped pouring out.
I'm going to spin it back to that point
Okay. And you
and then put my hand to the second inner circle to
Okay.
get ready. And if I see, okay.
So as soon as you pour it back, you see that the water begins to flow into 4 different locations. Continues to pour out into like a compass of sort. One comes like north from where you're looking. It's like north, east, south, and west. Pours out from the ocean, from whatever would be. It pours into this chasm.
Right. So then the second one,
Okay.
if we
the middle,
try to spin that middle, from moving out to in, the middle one.
you notice that it spins the other way. Okay, much like the entrance to the door. One spins in like a counter or a clockwise. The middle one spins counterclockwise, and as you try to spin it clockwise and it doesn't move, so you go to the other side and go counterclockwise. You see the middle of the temple spin, and then you see that it at one point begins to fill with water. And the same directions that the other one does. And then as you continue to spin it past that, it closes.
So, again, we would get to the water to try to drain the water. And is it filling the chasm, getting closer and closer to us, to where we might have to swim? Are we in danger of drowning?
It does not look as though
Right.
you're in danger of drowning yet.
Yet. Great. So I would turn it to where the middle is. The first one done pouring water?
Nope. It is endlessly
It's
pouring is what it looks like.
Okay.
Are these circles marked at all?
In a sense, they are. They run on a track, but that is really it of this lectern. And they're within the phrasing of the words.
So they have like wisdom, courage, and power in them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they do. So it is literally on the words. You wouldn't really know that because I don't think you speak dwarf, but the words for wisdom, power, and courage all fill within those gaps. Are on exactly where that square is.
So because Tydox is doing all this, can like Dark Null notice that hey, there's more of that language marking on there and ask to like, bro, what does that shit say?
Mhm.
Right.
You certainly can see that there are now new words have now appeared.
As I would line
Captain
up the
Ernie,
other
can
two.
you read what's on those things? If the boy's messing with things, it's filling with water. Do those say anything?
Let me see what they say, and then Captain Earth's obviously going to try and decipher what he did last time.
So you notice now the courage is the outside square. It is on the raised up stone. Basically, is the symbol for courage that has been what Tydox has been spinning around, and you notice that one says deep below, trust and you'll find. Wisdom is the middle one that you see, that is in the inner side that says, so deep below and you'll find, the wisdom says trust not with your heart but with your mind. And then if you continue to look, the top one is the very middle is the symbol for power, and that one says face me and you will find.
And so obviously Captain Earth kind of read that out to the group, and then I'm imagining that so each one of these is the trial, and I'm assuming since Tydox was around, each one of these is going to be a different trial, so I guess we can just take one at a time.
Tydox, do you continue to spin the last one into
Yep.
place? So that one
Correct.
then goes counterclockwise as well. And again, same thing, is right at the same spot that the rest of them. It kind of fits all together. And then you hit it. All three, you see the very top of the tower begins to hang. You begin to see that the chasm has now filled solely with water. You also notice that the clock has begun to go faster and faster and faster. Okay, and then you hear a loud chime, like a gong, bang through the entirety of the temple. And you guys have started the puzzle.
Started.
It's starting to fill up with water.
Section.
It has begun. It is filled up to the brink of where you guys are at, and you see that the waterfall continues to flow, yet nothing fills up yet. But you do hear the timer has started.
Does
Can
any-
Darknell try to make a connection of like the wisdom versus trip, not with your heart but with your mind, and just kind of ask the group if like the visions we had at the beach relate to this puzzle at all?
You can certainly ask that, yeah.
Because what Darknell's thinking is that that was part of the wisdom trial, or is that totally separate thing?
We don't know.
Find out.
We don't know.
Welcome to D&D, my friend.
Ah!
You now have to solve the puzzle, and I will tell you that you are on a timeline.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's been happening. My
Long
thing
story short,
didn't
we
work.
spun some buttons, cogs on the lectern that was in front of Mimir, and it's filling with water. There's the chasms that are filling with water that we would think to jump across, but it's probably huge. There was an inscription on the words on the
Dials.
puzzle as the dials. Thank you for dials. The dials as we turned them, and it made more sense and reinterpreted. And it was trust not with your heart but with your mind, right? And
The wisdom one, yeah.
is the wisdom one, and then another one was deep inside something.
Deep below, trust
Below?
you will find. And then the power said, face me and you will find.
So that's
Do
what
know
we
which
got.
trial
And
we're doing, though?
I bet you there's 3 of them. Probably 3 things that we have to.
But I think what he's saying is like, what are we doing right now? So we have to.
Are we on wisdom,
Probably
trust,
the-
or courage? Yeah.
It's probably the deep below one because we have deep. I would imagine that if we have a trial that references the deep and trusting, we probably have to get to the bottom of something. This did just fill up with water.
Yes, Tydex, but I feel that with the power says face me and you will find, I feel like we need to be facing the statue once it's filled with water.
We could if we can, survive underwater long enough for that to happen.
Well, it says deep below. I mean, what? Unless they expect us to dig underneath this whole thing.
There is a chasm over there that's filling with water from the outside.
And
We
again,
could
it
try
has
to-
filled up to where you guys are at.
Yeah. So
So can we like jump in the
Shell
chasm and
jumps in the
see-
water.
show is
There we go. That's what.
All right, so Show and Darknell jumped in the water. Anybody else jump in the water? Keep in mind, Raymond just got murdered.
Oh shit!
so
I jumped in
by
there
doing
too.
that.
All right, let's do it, baby.
Who knows what that water's made out of?
Necessarily did. Show did.
Yeah,
I
show
hold my
jumped in the
breath. I think I
water.
can hold- I was like, I don't know,
I
hold
was-
my breath for
I was
a
gonna
minute.
ask the question like, should we go inside the chasm and see if something opened up down there? And then as I was saying that, Show jumped in there. So I don't think I jumped in.
I
That was
jumped
Mom.
in. It's just me. It's just me. I jumped
Show.
in.
Yeah.
Am I
Go
going
in.
to get attacked by a tentacle monster? What's happening?
Show, you begin to sink in the water. Let me look and see what your swim speed is. Okay. So
Shows by the
same
ground.
as walking. You begin to sink. Do you know how to swim at this point?
Yes, Show does know how to swim. He swam in the lake.
Yeah, you're right. So you are swimming. You continue to fall down, and as you go down and down and down, you realize that holding your breath is hard. Can you roll a Constitution saving throw?
Yep. I got a 19 total.
Okay, so you go further and further and further. Your lungs begin to crush as you continue to get down and down and down. Your throat begins to hurt as you begin to breathe or lose, therefore, oxygen as you've been holding your breath. You go another 30 feet down. Do you continue going?
Oh, Show is swimming down.
Well,
Yeah, he's
you can't-
actively going with it.
Okay.
Yo,
don't
I
have a
think he
choice.
doing this. I'm taking my heavy crossbow and I'm shooting that rope trick again just to give her a lifeline.
You go another 30 feet. Can you roll me a Constitution saving throw?
Sure.
Do you have rope?
Yeah, I do.
After 3 minutes,
I was asking Delta.
I'm grabbing the rope you had, the same
No,
one
you're
that
not.
you grabbed up
No, you're
earlier.
That's not a choice.
To be fair, though, my bag is on the
You
ground.
should
Like
probably drop the
I had
bag.
plopped it on the ground.
Oh, that's right, she
Oh.
did. So Darknell could just grab that rope and shoot it
I
down.
didn't.
Now
The
you're
first
thinking.
one, I re-rolled, but I shouldn't. The first one was a 14 plus 6, so 20.
So you continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and as you go deeper, your lungs crush, your throat
Oh my God.
crushes, your bubbles begin to pop out. You're now
Mhm.
about 120 feet down. Is what
Damn.
you can imagine. Everyone else who's looked down can't see Show at all. I mean, he pretty much has disappeared since like you were looking
Yeah.
down, but you
30 feet ago.
notice bubbles begin to pop up from Show. Do you guys do anything?
How much time?
I'm
has
taking
passed?
that. I'm still taking that
Probably
rope
like
and
3
shooting an
minutes.
arrow. I'm taking that rope, attaching it to an arrow, shooting it down for like a chance of a lifeline. But I'm shooting it like a little like 2 feet away from the bubble, so I don't hit Show.
Okay, so you shoot your crossbow into water, and it goes about 30 feet, and then you see that the crossbow comes up to the very top. About 15 feet away from you, you see that the rope has, flattened out now, and it's like over this way instead of what should have been down. It just
Down.
yeah, like did that number.
Floated back up.
Yeah.
That was a heavy bolt. What kind of bullshit is that?
After probably, I would
What
wait
was-
one more minute, and then I would tell the group like, I'm going in if Show.
Can somebody throw the phrasings into a chat somewhere?
What do you mean?
Like
Yeah,
in
I can. I got it.
challenge
You want me
things.
doing in this like little chat?
Just do it
inside
in
this thing?
Dungeons and
And then I'll just do it. Then I'll say to the group, look, if I don't see Show in a minute, I'm going down to see if I can get him.
Yes. Half
kinda
of that
said
puzzle
this,
was
though.
to trust
Puzzle was to trust.
your wisdom.
courage.
Oh, deep below trust we'll find. Nice. So courage. It does tell us to trust courage. So Show has an abundance of courage. I go to the statue and I try to turn or manipulate Mimir
Okay.
somehow.
You try to manipulate Mimir, not the lectern.
Just with like standing in front of the lectern. Yes, that like okay, lectern face get okay, go towards Mimir and see if that is tangible in any way.
So the lectern itself only moves the outside of the temple. But I will say, roll me an investigation to see if there's anything else that you see. Show, I'm assuming that you continue to keep going down and down and down.
Show's in it.
Roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Show's in there like swimwear.
And nat 20.
Really?
You go another 60 feet
Damn.
down. You're about 180 feet down at this point. Like, so much so. Your body begins to crush. Your arms hurt. Your chest compresses a little bit. Your back gets shorter. Those bubbles that had continued to pop up have now vanished.
Okay.
I also got a nat 20 on my investigation, making it 27.
Oh my god. That's
In the
crazy.
investigation, you
Yeah.
begin to look at the lantern and you see, or the lectern, sorry. You begin to look at the lectern and you notice that you have now put the pieces together in what seems to be the right orientation. You see on the side of the lectern, there is a gear that goes this way. Okay. And you just barely are able to recognize it as you're like looking, you put your hands on it and you notice that part of the lectern moves, or like you're like running your hands on the side of the lectern and you feel something like move. Have you ever felt that? You know, like a gear or something like that? And you do that and you notice that there is something basically in between the lectern. And I will, if you choose to move it or do anything, wiggle it. I assume you do. I'll give you more information on that 20.
I'm definitely like, if I found anything that stuck out that wasn't like a solid fixture, I would be trying to manipulate something to get more mechanisms to.
You see that there's actually 3 different gears in between this lectern. You feel that. Again, it's like we'll go top, middle, bottom again, just to keep it accurate. The top gear, as you move it, okay, moves the pendulum, okay, and then the middle one moves the heart that you saw that's pulsating, and then the last one moves Mimir, his statue. Everybody, as you move that last one, feel the entirety of the middle has begun to spin around. Show, as he does that, will you roll a dex saving throw?
Yes, I can.
As all this is going on in my failed attempt of a freaking literal lifeline, is there any way that I could like go like, okay, now I definitely need to go assist Tydox and like figure out what to do? Like, is that like an investigation for me, or is that like, can I help him figure this?
How do you
want
to help it out? And I'll
like figure out how the mechanism actually works. Like solve the puzzle, because it sounds to me like we need to move everything in a certain place. Like we need to turn the mirror statue a certain way to face something.
You can roll an insight, and I will give you a hint. If you roll an investigation, I will tell you more information. Show, what'd you get?
I got a 12 plus 3 for 15 total.
Okay. So, Show, as you're deep inside this, you begin to notice that something is swinging near you, but you get out of the way. Again, it's really hard at this point for you to do anything, but can you give me a perception roll at the same time?
I rolled a 10 insight, by the way.
So 10 insight, you have an idea that, probably that you're supposed to do something. It has something to do with those gears and those buttons.
It's a 9 or
Reroll.
I think it's just probably a 6 minus 2, so 4 total. I'm very perceptive. Like the water's probably in my eyes. I'm just committing to
It is dark. It's thing. For a faint second, you feel like you saw a room.
Okay.
It's still kind of below you, though.
Like I am. I know I'm like at life or death right now. I'm choking to death, but I think I feel like it's like the boots of springing. It's like I'm gonna activate it like one last time to push through this, and try to make it for that glimmer of it as I'm like, I can feel like this is like my last moment.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm still thinking about show, and I'm trying to
23
figure this shit
total.
out still.
23 total.
Can I try something else to help Tydox?
Mhm.
Like just like observe or like just kind of like figure out like come to some kind of realization.
Can he just take the help action?
Yeah, you can take the help action and give Tydox basically advantage on whatever he rolls next, certainly.
Probably the best.
Show, you push further. You're about
Further beyond.
240 feet deep.
Well, my boy went deep, all right.
And you get to the end. It is a solid rock. You're pushing, you're pushing, you're pushing. You feel like there's no hope. And for a split second, you see the rock open. And just before you're able to choke to death as your eyes are going black as you're thinking,
Boiling out of my head.
you slip into this opening for a brief second. And I will describe what happens after. Tydox.
So the
You're still moving the gears, I'm assuming.
well, go over what they did one more time. Which ones?
The top one, so it's like top, middle, bottom on the side, but it's like this, facing this way, and it's like top, middle, bottom. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So you're rubbing your hands, and there's like 3 gears on the side of this lectern. The top one, moves the pendulum that is, the clock-like substance. The middle one moves the heartbeat that has been pulsating this whole time. And the last one moves Mimir.
So if he, when you say moves the heartbeat, where it like increases the heartbeat's rate, or is there a physical thing that is moving around the room? Because I thought the heartbeat was coming from the statue of Mimir, like coming out.
So it is pulsating from Mimir, but there is a heart in the air above you, above Mimir. And then above that is a pendulum that has been moving.
Okay.
So as you're doing that, heart moves, and then again, Mimir moves.
Now I'm confused. I'm gonna.
So there's 3 sections. There's 3 sections of the tower. So there's an outside tower. There's like the outside where you guys are basically at. It goes for like 60 feet in the air. It's moving, and then at that point is a fountain that's on a north, east, south, and west side. Okay. Then there's a heart in like the middle. Okay, that is pulsating. Okay. And then that outer edge goes about 60 feet. And then above that is a pendulum. Okay? Like a clock of a grandfather. At the very, 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 very top. Okay?
Wait, so does what does the pulsing heart do? Does that like come up and down kind of?
It
what is
pulses
that?
like this.
Pulses like this? Okay.
But when we rotate, does it move up and down?
Yeah,
Or does it move around?
that's what I'm asking.
When you rotate it, you see that it pulses faster and slower.
Okay. I want to turn it all the way down.
Okay, so you see it. You see the clock that, remember everything when I said it was going faster in time? You see that time has slowed down. The clock rather has
Clock timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like Barry Allen, you're running so fast that
Seeing that you have the most intuition here, have me move things and can you observe what's going on in the entirety of it? Because I feel like we're missing something.
So let me roll. Is this okay? Where'd it go? Oh, there it
Hi,
is.
Joe.
The dice. I was like, it's a dark dice, but can I make like a history check to see if I have got enough information to kind of discern what type of like riddle this could be to give me more information on where these pieces might go for
Certainly.
like the Legends of Mirror or anything?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a 15.
So
great.
this is a very ancient place, about 800 years old. There's not a lot that's written about this place, but you would know that Mimir is known for his cunning tactics. That what he says is often true, yet straightforward, yet not always exactly as it seems. He was known for being very tricky, is what I'll tell you. As you continue to think about that show, you fall and you come out. Basically, you fall down and the world shifts the other side, and you basically like jump up and then down, if that makes sense. And you are now choking, but you are now breathing. You are like spitting out water, and you are now in like an oxygen thing.
Okay. So I'm like heaving as hard as possible, probably like lying on my side as like, I feel like water's coming out, like a little fish, like a goldfish pops out of my mouth as I was choking on everything.
Yep.
And I start to like, I think just kind of I don't think I could probably stand at this point because I'm like, feel like I'm adjusting, but probably just like on my hands and knees and like trying to look around me.
You notice that where you fell, you are like next to a door that keeps opening and closing in sporadic. Every once in a while, will move and it opens. You feel as though your room also is moving is moving around at what feels as though completely random, and you have no idea what's really happening, but you're looking around as it's moving in a seemingly clockwise location. And you begin to see in this room that there appears to be almost nothing in this room. And there definitely feels like there should be something in this room. As the world spins, I'll let you roll another perception or investigation if you want more. But those are the things that you basically notice in this room, that it's a very big, circular, empty room.
I'll do an investigation because that's not a negative. I only got a 9 though.
Okay, with the investigation, you see a lot more dwarven symbols.
Shell's like,
You're like, fuck, I don't know how to read.
I can't even read, let alone dwarven. And so then I think he just turns around to the door, and I think he so they're like is it just a room, like an empty room,
It's
like
a
the
big,
back?
empty
It's nothing.
space.
But it's like, what is this something where like, is there like a ledge I can look over to see like if I'm like out to see like a bigger picture, or is it just like I'm just in a room? Like
You're basically in a giant room.
Okay.
To your like left, you see that there's like a door, but it's like on the ground like this, that seemingly opens, and as it opens, if you care to look down with a 9, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
But you see that it opens, and then it closes.
And so when I'm standing there looking at it open and close, it's just empty, or is it like it's like I would fall if I
You
went
see
for
that
it?
it's water, like
Oh,
inside
water.
this thing.
Okay, I think Sho would probably like watch it open and close a couple more times, and then this is not where I popped out of though, is it?
It is exactly where you popped out of.
Okay.
You would assume that it is exactly where you popped out of.
Okay, I'll just maybe. Because I don't want to re-swim all that again if it's just.
I mean, well, Captain Ert has no idea none of this is going on.
Correct.
He would swim in to go get show. Just
At
because
least
she's
take the
a
rope
phone.
this time with you.
Yeah, I'll grab the rope, but I'll tie it around my tail.
I don't think the rope is gonna matter. I swam 480 feet or something, guys. I don't think we got a
No,
500
you're out
foot
of
rope.
breath now. You gotta regain your breath
You rolled,
now. This
you
time
rolled,
you gotta.
you swim exactly 240 feet.
240 feet.
You can't relay that information, metagamer. Okay.
Exactly.
I know, but
You're fucking.
I'm just saying, it's like you see, you're like, Show's been swimming for 14 years. Good thing I got this 50-foot rope. Like, you think
Well, we can't.
50 feet.
We can't see you after that. We're just like.
Yeah, we don't know how deep you went, bro. We know.
Turns out
you
she
went
didn't
down.
drain the water. She's down fighting striders or something in a cave, like at the Broodmother.
Yeah, turns out Show
Don't
can't
fucking
swim,
know.
so
Show rolling it. No, just kidding. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
he died
Jesus
3 feet
Christ.
below the water.
So would that be
Secretly,
like,
Maddie's like, yeah, that was the plan, but I guess I already killed one of your members. I guess I won't go.
I'm joking.
Fucker!
It sucks that he died
Nah.
at the beginning of the fucking temple.
Not salty
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it at
no.
all.
This
Such
part.
early in.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because
Um,
right now you only got Darknull and Tydox figuring this shit out, and we're lost in the sauce.
Well,
Also, Raven and Bubba are both missing.
Can I jump in the water to go save
who the
Show?
fuck was
Yeah.
Bubba?
Bubba?
Do that.
Dude, the guy who gave...
where's the swamp?
Oh, the swamp puppy.
Yeah.
the guy who-
The gumbo and the.
yes, or you can certainly begin to swim.
I forgot about.
I'll probably start swimming.
You
then,
get
just
60
'cause-
feet, and I'm going to need you to roll a
I'm gonna say-
Constitution saving.
Okay. Is he gone? Did he take? He actually took the rope and went with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you get 50 feet, and you notice that the rope
It's
does
gone.
not let you go any further. So you're going to need to cut the rope and continue to swim down, or you're going to have to swim back 50 feet and be like, hey, rope's only 50 feet long, and it's definitely a lot further down.
I'm just gonna cut the rope and then send it. Show ain't got time for this. Besides, I got 11 anyways.
Okay,
My first Constitution saving throw.
you're still good. You continue to go 60 feet. You're, again, same with Show. You begin to feel the
Can I swim
pressure.
faster? Where do you get your swim speed at?
It's 30 feet.
Is it 30? Okay.
Yeah.
And then if my tail help propel.
But he's got a tail. I knew it. I knew he was gonna say the fucking.
You're also a frost.
Are we still seeing his bubbles up at the top?
Yep. And you also have seen that the rope went from like slack for a second, or like taut for a second, and then now it's slack.
Yeah.
Does
next roll
does
is
that
five,
can Darknull put insight on that and like in the sense of like, dude, that is way deeper. Look, that rope was long as crap, and now it's
Yeah.
back up.
You can roll an insight. I don't even think you need to roll for it. You
You
certainly
don't even. You just
understand.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
It's
want
a
to
lot
point
deeper
that out to
than
Tie
50.
Dogs.
Like the
Just
math
to
ain't
kind
mathin' on
of
that.
put because I need to put urgency on this team right now. Now we got 2 members deep in the water.
Yeah. Are you still swimming? Are you gonna keep swimming?
I'll
Because
keep swimming.
I
I
can
got a
keep trying to
5.
figure this
so-
out.
You got a 5 the
Like-
second time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm pointing out to Tie Dogs like, dude, we got 2 people in the water. We need to figure this out. What have you noticed, man? Like I'm just I try and figure this out, but all I can tell is that we spin this and we see a heart pulsing. That's it.
As you begin, you don't swim nearly as well as Show does, and you begin to choke on the
Aspirations.
water. It begins to crush you. You take 3 points of damage.
We're sending it.
Can I? All right. Which way, like cardinal direction, north, south, east, or west, is the Mimir facing?
He's spinning in those 4 directions. Wherever when you go, he goes either north, east, south, or he faces one of the fountains.
Yeah, well,
Right.
Did the fountain have the compass? Do they depict north, east, south, and west, or are they all?
I
There's
said
like four
northeast.
fountains.
It's just 4 fountains. I said it in a
Four
sense
fountains,
of just
okay.
because like you don't
Those
really,
are the-
you can't really understand where the cardinal directions are.
Okay.
But they're in. You see that the
Yeah.
fountains all line up together. Going up as
Okay.
they go, and you will roll. Mimir. As you spin Mimir, you notice that one of the fountains stops going. We'll say that this one faces east as you spun him. As he faces
Like
that
spewing
direction,
water.
yeah, Mimir has stopped facing. Same with the pulsating of the things. They have all emptied at one of those fountains. So we'll say east for Mimir, we'll say west for the heart, and we'll say north for the pendulum.
Okay. And that's when the fountains stop.
The fountains stop at those particular things.
So that's where I would put those. If we noticed that, I would spin them to where they would be aligned with those
Cardinals,
points.
where they stop.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
Ert, one last Constitution saving throw.
Mm, 14.
You barely missed it, my friend.
Hell yeah, brother.
Another 3 points of damage.
Worth. Okay.
Okay? Because your friend Tydox has opened the door, Show, you notice that the door has stayed the same. It stayed open the whole time. It has now stayed open this entire time
Just
you've been
waiting there, fucking waiting for it
just
to
watching
close.
it. You know how it had been closing and opening and
Uh-huh.
closing. You now have noticed that the door has stayed open, and as you're staring into it, you notice a big fucking dragonborn has fallen through what feels like down for you, Ert. You now fall down and then jump up, pretty much, and you crash into Show.
And like,
Oh, oh my god, you're fucking heavy. And he throws him over, and he's just like,
And again,
like Shell kind of is like squatting next to him, and he's like, I don't know that lizards could swim. And then he kind of like looks at him with his shoe, and he's like, "Hey, Captain, you know how to read?"
yeah, give me one sec. And I'm coughing up and standing up. Ugh.
Shell in a rare he like kind of pats him on the back, kind of like probably a little bit harder, but like to clear up
Good
the water
job.
from his lungs. He's like, "Yeah, get in there, get it
Get
out,
that
boy.
water
You
in
got it.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Well, I'm glad to know you're okay, Show. Looks like you
I
took
guess
that
you
trip.
too, Captain. I guess that rules out gills, though. I thought maybe you had some, fishy qualities, but it doesn't look like it because you look like a drowned cat.
What do I
and
need
then-
to read?
I don't know. You see the squiggles?
Ugh.
You see the squiggles?
And then I look around. I was like, alright.
You see the squiggles?
What did it say?
The door, it was going like whoop 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 earlier, and now it's open now. So I don't know. They must have done something over there to make it do this.
Oh, I know Tydox and with LimeWire were what was his name?
LimeWire?
LimeWire?
Dark-
I'm not
what was it?
nowhere near Dark Gnome.
Dark Gnome. I'm so bad at it.
Show when you says when you say Dark Nail, he's also like, who is Dark Nail? I don't know either.
Well, no, it's because he said
Like,
LimeWire. It's because he said LimeWire. I'm like, who the fuck was LimeWire?
oh no, I get
What
it.
are we
But like,
downloading?
I think Captain and Show are both like looking at each other eye to eye and being like, what is that guy's name?
And
Ert, as
and
you
so-
have been down here, you notice that symbol is the same symbol of courage that you had read up above. It says far below, trust and you will find. And in this room, you see an arrow that points into a very black area. Sho saw, she'd been in a room, but you see that it's a very dark and very, very dark area. Again, very similar to the temple that the entrance that you walked in, that it feels so dark. It's like, do I trust to walk in here, especially after Raymond died? That's the thoughts that I would have,
So then, what can Sho see? Can he see that the dark room?
Sho can't see anything other than just that it is a room. It's very dark in the room, but she sees the other side of the room. You are the only one that sees this wall, basically.
Okay. Well, then, if that's the case, then I'll relay that to Sho, and I'll tell him, like, Sho, can you see the room? Or it's right there.
Shows he's like, we're in a room. What you talking about?
Then I'll start. Look, Sho, I guess you can't see it, but there's more. The words on this is saying courage is just like from up top, and then there's the dark room that's right in front of us, and it's confused that Sho can't see this, and then look, I think this might be our way out, and then I just pulled out my orb. Is my ball glowing at all anymore?
Since you're in this temple, I'll tell you, it'll be the same pulsating until you have opened, until we're there.
It is a glowing light, though, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Can I use it as a...
You could use it as a light. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Then
you see that it's pulsating as a light, but it does not pierce the darkness.
Okay.
It's almost like the darkness is trying to consume the dark or the light.
If I keep walking into this room, can Sho see me walk into this room or disappear, or what? Well, I guess I'm a little confused, but
I think you got to try it.
What's I'm gonna do? All right, Sho, I'm gonna walk into that room, but
Sho already left.
Okay, Sho's gone. He's out. Sho's already walking. But I'm walking too. Then good. Sho left. I'm going too.
All right.
Well, I think Sho would realize. I think Sho would have just been like pacing or like as you were reading. Like, so I don't, especially because if he just thought it was a room, I think he's probably already been like walking that way. If that makes sense. So
okay. So you guys walk into the abyss, and you walk and walk and walk, and we'll go back to Darkgnaw Tydox. What are you guys doing?
So I wanna start like spinning it in the one that moves the statue and point out to Tydox like, look, man, pay attention, see what the statue does when it faces each one of those fountains.
Okay. As it faces each one of those fountains, the only one that changes is in the directions that I said before. When it faces all the other fountains, nothing else happens.
Did we hear an audible anything or feel anything that would indicate that we have solved a puzzle?
You have solved the second puzzle of more, but yes. That is the next piece of the puzzle. So when you align all three of those in those cardinal directions that I mentioned earlier, I hope you guys wrote those down because I definitely did not. But
I did not. No.
Does not matter. It does not matter. Just one of those empties at the same time. They're all in different directions. As it empties, you notice that a gong plays when all three are in that empty spot.
Yeah. So... Yeah. All right. So the
you also notice that the bubbles that would have appeared for Urt are now gone. Yeah. And now what feels like two of your friends, three now because Raymond as well, two are dead. And also you don't know where Raymond and Bubble are.
Well, Tydox is pretty confident that we have to go in the water. Deep below, trust and you will find. So but he's still puzzled, right? He's still puzzled as to face Mimir with the power.
As Darkgnaw, I'm still telling you, like, we got to figure out the power, though. Like, face me and you will find, like, is Miramar not the power here that it's speaking of? He has to face a certain direction. Like, I'm talking to Tydox.
Right. Use your accent. I'm not. I think we definitely solved two of these puzzles, but as far as the power, I'm not sure how we're supposed to face him and what treasure we would gain.
Yeah, I feel you are right. Let's face him to the
And
point where the fountain stopped. And then from there, what's your next idea?
Yeah. Reevaluate if there is any investigation that's like around here, like I guess just survey the area again.
Okay.
Because if we find nothing, if maybe that's all there is to do for this phase of the puzzle, because we still have that power, courage, and wisdom. If wisdom, we need to trust fall below, like the other two did. Their bodies didn't float up, and it seems like inanimate objects float to the surface. So I'm pretty confident they are still alive. Well, you can always just sink.
I feel that we should double check the area just to make sure we're not missing anything.
Is he still giving me the help action?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. You don't want to know the first one.
Not one.
It wasn't that one. I was
That's all
like,
it
fucking Christ. Where's my fucking... There we go.
Can I roll an investigation?
I did investigation 17.
Well, you're helping his investigation, so you gave him advantage on it.
Okay.
Right. What is that? 24?
What'd you roll? Sorry.
17 plus 7.
Okay. So 24, yeah.
24.
So on the lectern, you see that there's those 3 buttons, the outer, inner, inside. On the sides, you see that there's 3 gears that now move the inside. And as you've been contemplating, you move the statue, you notice on the back of the statue that there is 3 symbols that match up to the exact symbols that you have. In some sort of, we'll call it a key hole. That it looks like you need 3 keys to shut the door, or open the door rather.
Do we open what door? Because like,
We don't know.
do we not? We don't know, but
What
we
you
need.
see
We
is
need.
that there's 3 keys that, or there's 3 keyholes that need what you can, with a 24 investigation, assume means that you need 3 keys to insert in said keyholes, and that each key has a symbol that match the exact symbols of the other ones: a courage, wisdom, and power.
So yeah. So those things that were raised on the lectern are courage, wisdom, and power. After we're done turning them in the lectern, can we remove them from the lectern and use them in the back of Mimir? Because that would be Tydoc's. If they look the same.
Oh, you cannot. You cannot. You try to move it, try to pull it out. You cannot.
Nothing.
It looks like you have solved the puzzle as far as you can tell here, that you need something outside of this area to...
Yeah. We need to go explore something.
Yeah. But you have what amounts to the end of the puzzle, pretty much.
I imagine there's like been this like montage of like Tydox and Dr. Nell are like doing all these things, like investigating, and then it like pans back to like and Cho just kind of like walking in the blackness as they're like, "Oh shit, we left Tydox there by himself. He's never gonna come here."
He can't swim.
He's never going to figure this out. He's going to overthink it.
He's gonna be
the
like,
one that said, trust in the deep, go down, and Cho was like, sent.
Sent
So-
it.
I'm seeing that
That's what
I'm
you
helping
specifically
Tydox,
was
like,
like-
am I noticing the same thing? Like we're both sharing like the same like brain
I
thought, or like
assume
we
that
might be lying on
Tydox is
shit.
sharing it out loud, but...
Yeah, what happens usually, unless specified otherwise, that's why usually says I relay all that information. Tydox works through this in his brain out loud, talks through things, and when Maddie says it, you usually know that Tydox has come up with some way of saying, okay, the 3 keyholes on the back are probably things that we need to go and acquire. The ones that match the courage, wisdom, and power are not removed from the lectern. So it's
Okay, so
probably safe to
so
assume
that
we have
means
to
that
move.
that the wisdom, courage, and power are those 3 keys. So now I do believe that we do need to jump into the water and go after our comrades.
Your comrades.
Comrade.
It's
Compatriots, sorry, my bad.
compatriots.
In Soviet Russia.
That may be the next step, or maybe they are already on their way, and we wait for them to finish that part of the puzzle.
Well, can you swim?
I can sink.
Because
I
no,
have an idea.
no, fucking no.
Can you? Can you see?
He can sink.
I can sink. I mean, I hope I can sink.
Certainly try.
You can certainly try.
Look, mate, if you can sink, then I have an idea. We will jump into the water together and see how fast you can sink. And from there, we'll figure it out.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. As you guys
Says who's not fucking here.
you guys jump into the
The earth
water.
who sunk.
Exactly.
I am going to leave a written message in
Wait, we need to grab all the
Almost
gear
like-
before we jump in. We need to grab all the in.
already
Grab
got
all the gear to make us heavy, so then we
Good
sink
idea.
faster.
Good idea. I am going to like inscribe almost like hieroglyphics, because we are aware that Show can't read, but it's essentially going to be like a picture of the lectern and the pieces, and with a big like, "Do not fucking touch. Don't touch me."
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there
In
any
case they
stat-
get
I-
back first.
I forget. Were there like other statues around the room that like aren't pertinent to the puzzle? Like they're just there for display. Anything that's there just like for display.
Not that you saw. I mean, you did see throughout the whole thing that it is like some sort of mechanism. You see like a pulsating light. I mean, you see like stuff like that. But as far as like other statues, it looks like Mimir is the only one that was there.
Okay, so Dargnall is gonna gather all the gear because his idea sink fast as shit, all in unison.
So I will give you it's 3 Constitution saving rolls. I need to know exactly which one left, is right, and I need you guys, because you're carrying heavier things, you guys get advantage on swimming.
Okay.
That's
Sink.
crazy.
So what would be the outcome if Tydox got in the water and used Thunderwave to shoot us down faster, to try to not have to make as many Constitution saving throws? But I'm okay with the advantage one. That's a fine idea. That way I save a spell slot.
We're gonna do the advantage way one.
Fuck yeah.
Thunderwave would fucking do a lot of bad things to you. So
Sounds like a bad idea.
we'll do a lot of bad things to set puzzle that's very ancient and other stuff. So I'm
Okay.
gonna give you grace and say no, let's not do that one.
Okay. Thank
Friendly
God.
DM.
Fred.
This
He's killing
might
enough
be a
from
bad
this tonight.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear Professor
Fucking-
Oak. It pops up and says, "You should have used that right now."
There's a time and place for everything,
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
and now's not that time.
So I need
So are we-
both of you guys roll with advantage Constitution saving throws
3 times.
3 times. I need them in order of like
And that's in that little box that says
first
saving
roll,
throws, right?
second roll. Yeah, I need first roll, second roll, third roll.
He just wasted double nat 20s.
I'm wasted.
Oh.
I utilized double nat ones is what I fucking did on the first
Nice, nice,
What
nice.
is
Yeah.
it?
My first one was
So-
He
8.
got 3 damage.
1 plus 6.
Was it doubled?
And then what was yours?
one. Oh, so okay.
And then I'm rolling my last one. Ooh. Ooh.
Okay, so 8, 10, and 7. Okay.
I had the first one was the fucking 6. Well, 7. The second one was a.
Roll all those with advantage. Roll those 3 again.
I did.
Dark Null.
Okay.
Oh, wait! I thought I did do that.
No, you roll.
Or
them
how do I-
once. You can right click it and click advantage, but since you rolled them once, just click them all 3 again. Just click it 3 times again, and
Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So right
There you
click,
go.
advantage, and then
Yeah. Easier.
Okay.
there you go.
Hell
16,
yeah.
19,
I'm
and 14.
gonna pair them together as 8, the 10 and 8, and the 16, 7, and 14 and 19. Okay. Tydox, what were your rolls?
Yeah. The 7. Then the next one was 21, and then a 16.
Okay. So you take 2d4.
Okay. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
I did. 5.
Did it?
And Darknull, you do not take anything. You barely passed. Actually, you take 1d4. Sorry.
That's one health point.
You take 1 health point.
Let's go, baby.
Okay.
34.
Okay. And you guys sink to the very bottom, and you guys pop up, and you do the same thing. You fall down, but then pop up. Gravity seems to shift, and you're like, "What the fuck happened?" That's not how gravity works, but it's D&D, so
It is today.
you pop up into a
Candyland.
room that you fell into. That you see that the door that you came out of is open at the bottom, and you just see the emptiness of a room.
Can I use like my survival skills to like? Because I want to assume that the other two got here, and I want to like use like my hunting ability or whatever to like basically look for their tracks.
Love it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a survival.
They were wet. There's got to be some wet footprints going around here.
I got a 16.
You notice that there are 2 sets of footprints that move about 15 feet and then disappear.
Oh, and mate, look, there's their footprints, but they only lead into the wall.
Well, you see that it leads into a room, but you don't see.
Oh,
In
I thought you
just
said wall.
black.
Okay, my
No,
bad.
it's just you don't.
Yeah.
So you guys don't see the blackness. You just see that it leads into what amounts to an empty room, and then
Alright, well,
disappears.
to rephrase then. Oi, mate, look right there. There's their footprints going in. I think we should follow. I mean, I don't see no blood, so it's got to be safe.
I would agree, I guess. And that's how the last situation ended up. So let's go.
All right. And so, do you guys both head into the
Yes.
the room? All right. So, as you guys head into the room, you guys will find out next time. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining us today and for getting back to the session. Man, I know we're so excited, but I'm going to leave you guys on a little bit of a cliffhanger. We'll see you guys in hopefully another 2 weeks. See you guys.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Use code